Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fanfiction it inspires. I'm Kasey.
I'm Sandra, and we're welcoming a podcast creator who, I'm guessing, believes wholeheartedly with Kasey that Sam Winchester is a baby man who has never done anything wrong in his goddamn life. Audree, known as sunflowerchester on Tumblr, is the creator and co-host of a Sam Girl Retrospective podcast. It's a rewatch podcast that has recently wrapped its deep dive about season 3 of Supernatural. The podcast is led by Sam-centric fans with a decade of friendship and seasons of Supernatural to dissect. We're looking forward to commiserating with a fellow podcast creator about the beautiful way that Sam suffers. So, big thanks for joining us, and welcome to the podcast, Audree.
Okay. I'm sorry I laughed over your intro because that was so funny.
That's what I wanted. Because
I mean, period. He's a baby man that is perfect, and I love him.
He is an angel baby man, and he's never done a thing wrong a day in his life. And somebody's going to die on this hill. I don't care if it's me or you. Straw man I've created in my head.
We've got each other.
I feel like there's a lot of that's going to be happening in this episode, which I'm looking forward to. Thanks for joining us. I came across.
Welcome.
Thank y'all for having me on. As I was saying before, I'm so excited.
Yeah, we came across your podcast, and it was kind of like really like, I don't know if kismet's the right word, but like I'm one of those people that I'm always tracking the behind the scenes of how the podcast is doing. You know, I have one of those like tracker thingies and all that. And I had seen that one of the related podcasts that just popped up was like a Sam Girl Retrospective. I was like, I've never heard of this podcast before. So then I looked into it. I'm like, this is good. I think we need to try and talk to this person because Kasey will enjoy all of the things that she has to say.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so honored.
And I took some time and I listened, I think, to like one of your intros and a couple seasons, like here and there. I listened to a couple episodes. One of the episodes most recently that I listened to, I think I was about 45 minutes in. I was like, so much has to be discussed about this because it's the season 3 episode that is very infamous in our part of the podcast realm and just in general, I think. But I kind of wanted
I want to ask my question first.
Oh, okay. And then we'll get into the other one. Okay,
let's go, Kasey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
Asking. So now I mean, like, I think I know the answer to this question. Audree is clearly a Dean girl, obviously. But like Audree, let's just confirm it for the listeners at home. Like, do you feel like one of the brothers is a blorbo more than the others? Like, do you feel like you just want to snuggle one of them? I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it's Dean. Like, everything you said to me makes me think it's Dean.
I mean, it's really hard it's hard for me to just say off the top of my head. I only just created.
I used to threaten with violence, but I got told that was mean. So like, no gun to your head, but if you can,
she is not. Like, Kasey, they are not like holding a gun to my head.
I'm not. We're not even on the same continent.
They're not sending someone to my door to intimidate me.
No. But yeah, like, do you feel like you identify more with one of the brothers than the other as a blorbo?
Now, here's the funniest thing is I was listening to some of y'all's podcasts earlier because I was looking through the questions and it was like a Kasey question, if you know, you know. And I was like, well, I need to know. I definitely need to get through. And so then when I realized that you're going to ask me, which is, you know, who's my favorite character, but you said blorbo, I was like, well, I don't actually know what that is. So I had to Google it.
Oh no.
Because I'm years away from like Tumblr culture, like totally like I forgot. And then I was like, oh yeah, I do know what that means. Obviously, like, no, Sam Winchester is my favorite character of all television, period. Like not just on Supernatural. I love him so much. Like, so I love Dean, but like obviously you don't favor Dean and then make a podcast that's about the other guy, and you know, that would be weird.
It always makes me laugh when people are like, especially people who are so vehemently like one brother over the other, and they'll like wax lyrical about why their brother is hashtag the bestest angel baby man that's never done anything wrong, and then they follow it up with but I really like Dean.
Well, and that's
the other way. It happens to me all the time. They're like, Dean Winchester is the epitome of everything that's beautiful and wonderful, and I love him, and I would go to war for him, but I like Sam, and I'm like, don't throw me a bone now. You've already laid your cards down. Carry on.
I know. Well, it's like, I think it's like Tumblr, or maybe not even Tumblr, but like internet fandom trauma where like you've been in the trenches, like arguing with other fans, and you know that saying liking one might trigger the like fight or flight of the other. And so you have to be like, but I don't hate the other guy. And that way like everyone's happy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
I just before we carry on, this is an idling in the Impala like milestone happening in real time here. We have been asking guests this question since how long have we been asking this? A long fucking time.
Yeah.
not every guest. I think maybe we had a couple of guests really early on
in
that
the
we
beginning
didn't
that we
ask,
didn't. Yeah.
but we have asked now 40 over 50 people this question, and for the first time ever there is balance in the force. You are the balancing force, Audree, that is given 28 votes to Sam and 28 votes to Deeb.
Look at that. It was like it was meant to be, Audree. You were meant to come in this
just
time.
Perfection.
Balance
so
it
now
out.
we can never interview anybody ever again.
This is the finale.
This is it. That's a wrap on Idling in the Impala, guys. No, it's not. It's not.
That is so special. I feel very special right now.
You should.
Good, you should.
It's kind of like when they walk into Biggersons and they're like the millionth customer.
Like, yeah, hand me my giant check.
Got some confetti. Yeah, we'll give you a big check, but there won't be any money.
Just as long as there's confetti, I'll be so happy.
Confetti's fine. Confetti's fine.
Confetti's important.
Okay, Sandra, you can ask your very legitimate.
Okay, no, it was important. We needed to get that out like right at the start because again, it was pretty apparent, but we wanted to just, for, just qualify it. I think because I listened to a little bit about like your start and everything with Supernatural, so I kind of wanted like to let our listeners know like when exactly did you get into Supernatural?
Okay, so I think it was 2013.
Okay.
And so I didn't watch it originally as it aired. I like knew about it. I think I was in college when it was airing because it started in 2005. So that was like the fall of my sophomore year in college. And so like I was kind of busy and like I think I watched things on the CW, but not that, or was it the WB back then? Who knows? It's switched like over in between the last season of like Veronica Mars or something from WB to CW. Anyways, and so like my friends had watched it, and I was on Tumblr, which is one of those things. I think I was listening to one of y'all's podcasts to get to know you guys, and I think she was a fic writer from Germany, and she was talking about being on Tumblr. You couldn't get away from Super Hulock, and I was like, oh, relatable, like absolutely. And so like I got on like Tumblr in 2011 because I'm a Lord of the Rings fanatic. It's like why I'm an English teacher, and I was like, I need to be somewhere where fans talk about that. And then eventually, I think it's all roads lead to Super Hulock, and so eventually you have to watch like one, if not like all of them, and so.
We have a gift for everything. That's
literally
that's a fandom legacy.
I know. And I think she was even talking about the gift that she had seen like before she knew the show. And the one for me was definitely today is Tuesday or yesterday's Tuesday. Today's you. And me being like, why are they torturing this man? Like, what's happening to this man? And I knew Jared, from like Gilmore Girls, like tangentially. And I always just remember when I would watch Gilmore Girls and there would be like commercials for Supernatural, I'd be like, oh, the beautiful man. Like I didn't know him. I didn't know his name. I was just like, oh, there's the beautiful man with the hair. Cool. And so when I started it, I didn't know Jensen at all. And there's a running joke on our podcast. We love Jensen, we love Dean, but like we all kind of had face blindness for Jensen at first. Like I personally could not remember what he looked like unless I was looking at him.
Okay.
He's just not my type. Now I think he's stunning, gorgeous, and beautiful. And that isn't me placating like the other side. I genuinely think that. But
he's aged like someone who may or may not have made a demon deal, it's been 20 odd years. So he made a good fucking deal, whatever it was. Like maybe his soul's like super valuable.
Yeah, they're like, keep him on the earth.
Just
see how he keeps aging.
It's going great. It's working for him. It is absolutely working for him. And I know you're watching The Boys as well. So like,
I am. It's that hair. I think he needs the longer hair. It's for me. That's one of the reasons why I start right because the short hair, and that's maybe why I had the face blindness. I was like, short hair guy and Sam. Like I was like. Okay, but not to be disrespectful, but it's literally being a short hair guy not short guy, because he's 6'2". He's a tall man. Jared's just a giant.
But he's shorter in comparison to
He's
Jared.
shorter.
Jared, yep.
Yeah, you're expecting short man when you see him. They're like, oh no, he's not short.
That's my
he's
favorite
very
thing about
tall.
seeing him on set with other people who are more normal
Yes.
heights, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's 6'8". Like, so my dad is 6'3", so I grew up with a tall man around. And so, like, I always measure people by how tall they are in comparison to my father. And so I was like, oh, he'd be like around my dad's height. So anyone taller than my dad, I'm like, whoa. And like Jared's like 6'5". And it's like, that's no wonder he auditioned for Thor. Like, he's giant. But
Yeah.
do you see how I jump around and don't answer questions? I'm so sorry.
That's totally fine. I'm with you. We're on this crazy train together. Have you had the opportunity to meet Jared in real life?
Yes, so many times. Like,
No,
there was
what
an
did you-
era like where I was just like, I don't do travel. I do convention. I do picture
Yes.
with man that is very tall.
Yeah.
And that's where my money went. And there I talk about it on the podcast every so often. I'll be like, I've met him. And it's hard not to just be like, here's some social currency. I've held that man in my arms. Like, I have to talk about it. Yeah. And they're both great. Like, I mean, obviously they're so sweet. Everybody talks about how sweet they are, but they're genuinely the nicest,
Amazing people.
the nicest
Yeah.
people. Yeah. And I love Jim Beaver. That every time we get to talk about Bobby, I'm always like, Jim Beaver is really nice and he's really talented. Like, love him. But all that to say, I started watching Supernatural in 2013. And one of my best friends was a Dean girl. And she was like, you're going to love this show, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up loving Sam more. And so that was like an interesting journey for us because
Did it work? Did it balance? Or were you guys weren't
No.
like, oh, it didn't. So were you guys,
No.
you guys were
we
arguing
got to
about it.
we got to a point where like, we were like, let's not talk about Supernatural anymore.
Oh my god.
Like we got heated. I think too, because she like relates. I think like it got to a point where like I think we just both related so much to the boys that like the trauma the boys feel towards each other felt really personal.
Okay.
It happens
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, and I think that's why
Yeah.
people take it so seriously
Mhm.
because they love these characters so much that if they hear someone criticize, and I think that's the
you take
hard
it
part.
personally sometimes.
You
Yeah,
take
and
it
you
personally.
can't dissect it from like, no, this is like a fictional
You
character
can't
that you
separate
are.
it.
Yeah, because you're stamping
Yeah.
yourself, I think,
You're
on
totally
a lot
right.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
me and Sandra have been very
I'm so
lucky.
sorry, Kasey.
Sorry.
No, I'm
Just
sorry.
no, me and Sandra have been very lucky that we both have that kind of projection, but we're able to listen to each other as well. And like I've got
Yes.
such a new and huge appreciation for Dean because of
Yes.
Sandra, and she says that she's got the same from
Yeah,
Sandra, so I'm not gonna
absolutely.
speak for
Oh,
her.
Because
I
I
love
think-
that so much.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you just love a character and you want the best for them, sometimes you can't see, you get that not face blindness, but you get that baby man can never do like that kind of thing. And I think it's
but like I
important-
will die on that hill. Though.
I know
He
that.
is.
I know. But what I think is good about it is that you get this other perspective of someone like, well, no. Because I mean,
Yes.
like, I was going to start this podcast and like basically just talk about Dean in case he was like, no.
No, you need some Sam representation in there, girl. I got you.
So it's worked. It's worked out. Where we do have a lot of, I know I've learned a lot more about, I think, Sam from Kasey. And even just the way, like even just how we write them, we write them, I think, differently too. And like we get more ideas about, what is driving, what's the motivation, all of the things are different, but yet they still come from the same trauma, right? Like, but they're just how they deal with it is very, they butt
It's
heads.
very different. Yes. I
Yeah.
love that because that's what I love about the show. And when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, this is fascinating because you can really dig into it. They feel real. And we talk about it all the time on the retrospective. Like, did the writers mean to do this? Like, are they just like, taking on writing from experience and things like that? But what I think is invaluable, especially as like an English teacher, like you have to be able to look through the lens of criticism at the art that you consume. And I think that we're very critical of the show from a place of love. And I think too, like we talk through the hard moments with Sam because there are moments with Sam, as much as we love him and think I think he always tries to do what he thinks is best. I think we get to a point where it's like, it's okay to criticize your faves too. And I think when we would get on Tumblr and beat up against people who were like, no, we absolutely will not criticize our favorite, or it means we hate them. We had issues with that because it's like, well, then we're not actually showing respect to that character. In our
Right.
opinion, like you have to be able to say, it's just like your beliefs. Like you have to be able to question your beliefs to know what you believe. You have to be able to criticize someone you love to know all the things about them to truly understand that character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a little too deep, but also it is that deep.
Yeah, which is necessary and why we're doing podcasts about this show.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's-
There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like Supernatural, you know, when you take out all of the supernatural elements, it's about dysfunctional family
Absolutely.
and what family means, and that's very real and very relatable. And yeah, it's dressed up in angels and demons and monsters and things like that, but it's still two broken, dysfunctional kids trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure out, you know, what their family trauma. I don't know if you guys are Noah Kahan fans, but he just dropped a new album yesterday, and the whole album is about dysfunctional, like dealing with his dysfunctional family trauma. And I was like, that's a Sam song, that's a Dean song, Sam song. I was like, the whole time I was listening to it. Yeah, well, you know, brain rot, supernatural brain rot, it affects us all.
It does. It's like once you see it, you can't not relate certain things to it, or you're going back in your brain and you're like, this relates to this relates to this. Oh my gosh, stop.
I remember when I could listen to music and not be like, oh, that's a story there though. Oh, this is Sam and this is Dean, and oh, this could be either of them, and it's so fucked up. Oh, it's still them. Fucking hell.
Yeah, our Discord right now is in the middle of like, we're doing playlists, and Vic is actually running a Tumblr event right now for Sam's birthday because it's May 2nd, where people like contribute songs about Sam, and so she gives a prompt for each playlist, and so she's doing that until next week. Nice. And so that we're like shoulder deep right now in music, thinking about specifically supernatural stories.
I don't know. Obviously I don't know where any of y'all's music taste lies, but for me, anything by Corey Taylor, so Slipknot, Stone Sour.
Oh, I love Stone Sour. He has a gorgeous voice when he's singing.
Doesn't he, though?
Very beautiful, yes.
Swoon.
Love him.
I'm in the middle of a song fic to Say You'll Haunt Me. The Stone Sour song, set immediately after the end of season 2, or in between All Hell Breaks Loose 1 and All Hell Breaks Loose 2. Where Dean is dealing with his grief. I have an entire series around Demon Dean and Blood Addict Sam, set to a couple of Slipknot songs. Like,
oh my god, that sounds amazing.
I've got a Sam Reader pretty dark fic to Kill Pop by Slipknot. Just Corey Taylor. Something about the way that Corey Taylor speaks to me translates to Sam and Dean so fucking hard.
I love that. I'm going to have to look into the songs you mentioned and maybe add some to our playlist, but I definitely want to look at your fic. I want to share your fic. You guys have like AO3s listed like on your okay. I'm going to list them today. We're going to record like a chatty episode for the Patreon after this. I will absolutely not be able not to talk about you guys. So I'll need to be able to link to you guys so y'all can, everybody can see your cool pod and your fics.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So when the show came out, were you like around Sam's age? Like when he started, like when the show started, like were you like early 20s? Yeah. Okay. That's
I was.
You've grown up with him.
Yeah.
It's honestly so true. It's like, it's when I was watching it, obviously I was like older because I didn't start with him, but I do feel connected to Jared in that way. So Sam was born in 83. I was born in 85. So he's a little bit older millennial. It's kind of funny because, our podcast host Elle, she is like a Gen X like cusp, and so she kind of relates to like not to Dean as a character necessarily, but like she understands like that era. And then I like that there's like kind of it's not often there's the perfect rift between like siblings where like you're very clearly Gen X and you're very clearly millennial. And I think it's kind of funny the way that like Gen X Dean is very into like the classic rock and like he loves his dad's stuff, and then like millennial like Sam is like, ew, I'm listening to Death Cab for Cutie, give me my iPad. I just love that. I don't know if it's truly reflective of the gens, but also I just think it's kind of an interesting line between the boys and how different they are.
Yeah.
But
no, I think
yeah.
that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was around his age, and then so when I was watching it, I was like, I latched onto him quick. Because I don't know, it's an archetype I really enjoy too. I think I feel like, and I've written about this, but I feel like he and like Sam Winchester, his hero's journey is similar to like Harry Potter's journey, is like similar to Luke Skywalker, is similar to like Jon Snow. I like it's an archetype I really enjoy. And so like outside of just being like, wow, like we're kind of around the same age and like I relate to you, it's also like his story was one that I always kind of tend to like gravitate towards.
You mentioned Bobby as like one of your favorite characters. Who else on the show is like one of like your tops? Like, you'd love it. Like when their episode's getting ready to come, or like you're getting ready to like start something. You're like, oh yes, please. Yeah.
There's some, okay, so I can talk about like some main favorite characters, and then there's some people that are in the first 3 seasons. We only covered the first 3 seasons so far that I'm like, why not more? So like, obviously I've loved Bobby. I think because I hate John Winchester. He should be in jail. And it's like every time we have to do an episode that includes John, it's like John Winchester hatred hour, because he's such I struggle with him quite a bit. Especially as a teacher, I'm like, one of those teachers should have turned that man in. He's neglectful, and like that we are required reporters. Like we have to, and like that's why he kept moving them around. Like I'll talk about it forever about how much I hate John. But I do like
you're in good company.
Yeah,
you're in good company, friend.
Absolutely.
Like I'm with you there.
Good. I'm glad. I was like, I'm sorry, but he sucks.
No.
But that's why I love Bobby so much. It's like he steps in and he's like
the real dad. Yeah,
father. Yes, I wrote
he's
this.
The dad that stepped up. Yes,
he's the dad that stepped up. And then you get like these moments where he kind of does this tough love, but it's with deep care. And like John's was very abusive tough love. Like Bobby was very like, well, you idiot, why did you sell your soul? Don't you know you have value? And John was always like, you don't have value unless you can fight a demon, And so I really love Bobby for that. I know that we have complicated feelings about Bobby in the Sam realm. Like, because I like some Sam fans that I know don't enjoy him, because I think later on he admits that Dean's his favorite, and I was like, whatever, dude, it's fine. Like sometimes you love your kids the same, but you do have a favorite, and I don't care. I love Bobby,
and like, sometimes the favorite is the one that isn't currently screaming.
Yeah,
that's how I have 2 children. You know which one my favorite is? The one that isn't currently yelling at any given moment.
That quiet one, love that one. Love the quiet one.
That one.
Who is it right now? That one, great.
Yeah, currently I have a teen and a 7-year-old. So like it could be either of them. It could be both. It could be neither. It is whichever one is doing the least amount of yelling at any given moment. And also, like I feel like Bobby, like we want detail here. I feel like Bobby really saw the fucking pressure that Dean was under. Yes. And as part of, like he helped in looking after them both and relieving Dean of that pressure when he could, but also making sure Dean had at least some kind of childhood. And it's just a different relationship. You can't be like,
Sam
I did not realize there was Bobby hate in the Sam love fandom.
I don't think it's hate. I just think it's like we're so and I don't want to upset anyone, but we're like so used to our character and Jared specifically in the in certain fandom spaces getting. Can I cuss on this podcast?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, wait, him and Jared both getting shit on like in different places, like especially like certain ships are very sensitive, and they're like, can I say the F word?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
You can swear anything you want. It's
you have
totally
not
fine.
listened
We're
to
all
enough
good.
of our podcast.
I just didn't want to. I was like, we cuss a lot, and often it's because I'm running it and I cuss a lot, so I just didn't want to upset anyone. But yeah, they're like, fuck Jared, fuck Sam, whatever. And so like in the show, I think there are people really sensitive, like another person favoring
Dean. Makes sense. Yeah.
But when you think about it in terms of the character, I think especially like what you're saying, Kasey, is that like Bobby, if you're thinking about it in terms of character, it's very, I think you can accept this as a very reasonable reaction to Dean being very much like, yes, sir, I will do what you want, Dad, and being exploited for his loyalty. Well, Sam has, and I watched the Christmas episode this season and was fascinated by young Sam and how he always knew who he was, the respect he deserved, and that he would question if it was different from what he understood as respect. And it was something that Dean couldn't do as a child.
Right.
And it's one of those things that I think you really were right, Kasey, is that Bobby probably saw that and was like, I love them both. Sam knows how not to be exploited by this man, and Dean needs someone to show him that, that there's a difference. And so I think because the boys are different, it makes sense they have a different relationship, and there's probably a little bit more invested in Dean in that way because he had to try to help Dean find his individuality, which I don't think he ever was able to do until John maybe died,
Yeah.
And because that loyalty runs so deep,
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
No, and it's like you say about Sam kind of having that built-in acknowledgement of his worth, which was put there by Dean.
Yes.
So coming at that from a parenting perspective, you love your kids the same and you try and be equal with them, but they need different things. They're different things. There are things like the way that I raised my teen is different to the way that I raised my little one, not just because there's 7 years between them and shit changes. You change as a person, being a parent changes you, but their needs are different. Sam needed space to be able to be himself. Dean needed to be shown how to relax.
And specifically under the umbrella of John's parentage. Like, I always wonder, what kind of people would they be if they could have had the, what was and what should never be life. That episode where Dean is taken by the Gen and he's just so excited just to get to mow the lawn. It's it's the saddest thing you've ever seen. And at our podcast, we do not subscribe to Dean parentification. We think it is child abuse to make an older child who's only 4 years older than the other one in charge. And we don't subscribe to the idea that at any point Dean was able to raise Sam, but he was put in that position and he did his best, but he was a child. Yeah. And I think some of the biggest, I think one of the reasons Bobby is one of my favorite characters is because so much of my personal rage is how horrible these boys had to go, their childhood. And again, as a teacher, I teach 14-year-olds, I teach freshmen, which is 9th grade. So they're 14, 15. And there's an episode, I can't remember what it's called. It's in season 4. And there's a running joke on our pod that I have supernatural amnesia because I don't remember anything until I'm watching it. But it's after school special. And it is about Sam going back to when he was a freshman in high school. And the way that my heart just aches for him and Dean, anytime they show these boys as children, I'm like, they deserve so much better. You know what I mean?
He was just, don't
and so
this. Any
moment I get Bobby being kind of reaching in and kind of baby Sam saying, oh, Uncle Bobby bought it for me, I'm gonna give it to Dad, the Samulet or whatever, I'm like, thank God someone's there. It eases something in me, it heals something in me, because the rest of the time I'm white knuckling my rage for John Winchester,
right? Yeah.
In those moments.
So I think we might be the same person.
Oh my God,
that's
Kasey,
what I'm learning from this.
I do have 2 new best friends now.
You do. We're absolute besties. We're absolute. My favorite AO3 tag is John Winchester being my favorite thing. Dead.
Well, I always think I'm so mean, I'm so petty, but I'm like, when he climbs out of hell, I'm like, go back. You don't get out of here. Because, okay, Sam, here, as a Sam fan, Kasey, you tell me if you feel the same. He crawls out of hell. First of all, why is he wearing that? He should be in some kind of weird hell outfit, but instead he's wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Whatever, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So then doesn't he talk? He looks at and talks to Dean, and then he kind of glances at, he checks the note on his hand, my second son, Sam, glances at Sam, then glances back and is like, I'm like, Sam didn't get to say goodbye before. He got horrible, he's like, go get coffee for me. Then John tells Dean goodbye, sorry, love you, then dies. So Sam like misses that opportunity. And then he crawls out of hell, snubs him again, and then is like, peace. That man is horrible, and even in death to Sam.
Yes. And then he comes back in whatever fucking, I think it's Lebanon, this is 13 something, and he's like, I always loved you, and you're just, and then Sam, because he's so beautiful, and he loves, and it's like, okay, Dad, I've forgiven you. No, hold on to that rage, hold on to that, you need that. That is a core tenet of your personality. You hold on to that rage, don't you let that man off.
I would never. I'd be like, okay, well, whatever, Dad. But like, he's so much more kind than I am. I think that's the thing too. Y'all tell me if I'm talking too much about, because I'm literally going. I'm going on so many tangents. I'm like, where are we? I'm so sorry I brought us to this place.
No, this is great. This is what we like. This is what we like. Go ahead.
I'm so glad, because it's the only way I know how to talk. So I think that's the thing, is there to me. So when I was watching Supernatural earlier, and you're starting the series, and Sam has a very different personality, I think, in the early days. And then he gets into, we cannot wait to get into the Demon Blood like seasons. Like that's kind of the reason we started. We were like, we just want to scream into a mic for like 2 hours about season 4 and 5. Like we can't wait. Yeah. But after he goes to the cage, and season 6 is he loses his soul. It's put back. The wall falls. He has all his hell memories. He's deeply traumatized through season 7. I think what's fascinating is as the writing changes for him, because I do think it passes hands many times. And at one point I feel there's like writers on it who have never even seen the beginning, because it's just such a long show that they're like, oh,
yeah. Want to catch up on all this? Nah, probably all right.
Why would I do that? It's only my job. So we're very critical of the shows sometimes. So I can be a little snarky, but Sam becomes kind of much quieter. He starts becoming like smaller. He tries to make himself smaller. And I love Jared's acting in that, like he takes on this like smaller role, because the actors or the writing kind of, he's the guy who gets thrown into a wall and then tied up almost every episode, and then he gets saved, or he gets knocked out, or he gets, whatever. And I love the way that they're able to kind of, like, Jared is able to pull through these notes of, okay, well, he spent all this time in hell, and he has all of these trauma responses now, and he's always like chewing the scenery. Like even when he doesn't you can tell I'm a Sam girl, because I love Jared so much. I love Jared's acting so much, but like he's really chewing the scenery. Like even when he's given very little, he really encapsulates to me like such a perfect evolution of what a person would go through if they had the arc that Sam Winchester had.
Yeah. Where he remembers, he retains it, even if the showrunners don't. Yeah.
Yes. And he's kind of talked about like that at cons, not necessarily that about the writers forgetting him or anything. Like he would never say anything like unkind, but he was like, I always try to keep in mind these things about, the character, because it matters to Sam, and he loves Sam so much, but he knows it matters to Sam fans so much.
Yeah.
And it does. We love him for that.
It does.
We're blessed. We are absolutely blessed.
I know. Sam fans keep winning. Like we have Jared. Like, he has that hair. It's beautiful. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about the finale of the series. I have seen it. I have not watched. I stopped watching at 11 and have never gotten a chance to go back to those seasons, which I want to do. But I know that it was split in the fandom. Can I ask you guys how you felt about the finale of the season or the series?
Yeah, I loved the beginning.
A lot of fandom hate.
A lot of people did not like our reaction to the fact that we weren't really happy with how the ending kind of, at least the whole Dean thing, like 7 minutes of him, like, I mean, it was a lot.
As a Dean fan, I'd love to hear what you think. I know you probably talked about it before, but I'm like I'm fascinated.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was kind of like just pulling the rug out from under. Like, I think we both kind of thought, oh, it's going to be just a day in the life kind of episode that we've always wanted, and they gave us the thing, and then they pulled all of that hero part out. But I loved the even though it was torture, and I mean, I cry. I'm one of those people that I will continue. I will go through, watch it fully, and then I'll start over again. So every time we get to the ending and it's, Dean dying, I'm like, I'm a mess. And I thought, oh, it'll be better this time. No, it's not. It's just going to be as bad.
It's never got better.
every time.
Because you spend so much time with these characters and you've seen all that they've wanted, and that he's okay with it, and that he was scared to go and see Sam, and like all these things that they like bring back, and all of these uncertainties, but the love that they have for each other, and you know how Sam then tries to move on, you know, without Dean, and how very torturous it is, you know, for him too. But he keeps going and he keeps doing it, and you know, keeping baby in the garage is this little secret that he has to go to every once in a while just to get and feel his. I mean, the wig. They should have just the wig is horrendous. Like I don't know why they. I
maintain that was somebody's idea of a prank. That was somebody somebody was like, "This will be funny, Jared," and he was like, "Yeah, it will be funny though."
I still feel like there were so many moments that could have really like resonated better if they just made a couple little like tweaks with it too as well. Like I mean, I would have loved to have seen him even just in shadow or whatever, and like, don't see that goddamn wig. Like, just have him in the car, you know, like the way it could have been filmed or different things like that to just show how much Dean still resonates within him, and he's still doing the thing, and he's still trying to move forward. But I think it was just, I wanted more for both of them, kind of, and not getting that at the end. And nobody seemed to get that memo when we were like talking about it. It was like, oh, you know, it was like
our opinions were, some of it was dissatisfaction, but okay, the show had to end, and it had to end with Dean dying, because it couldn't have ended any other way. It couldn't, like, Sam was the only one out of the two of them that had half a chance of being able to let go. It couldn't end any other way. My issues with the finale are that fucking wig, for a start. A lot of feelings about that wig.
I gotta go back and look.
It's horrendous. Don't spare yourself. It's horrendous. But my issues with it were, if they had just waited a few more months, and I understand the studio's losing money, because like Warner Bros, you know, they're counting every fucking penny, aren't they? They really cannot afford to lose a couple of thousand. But they went back like as soon as conceivably they were allowed to, and I think if they'd have just waited a little bit longer, they could have done the finale the way it should have been done. And they could have, all of the things that they wanted to do, it could have been better, you know?
I always wish that they had, if they could have reached out to Kripke, if they could have reached out to Sarah Gamble. Sarah Gamble is my favorite writer on the show. And she left in 6, like middle of 6. And they could have had the people who created the beginning, because I feel like it's hard to do a finale for a show this big, especially in one episode. And I feel like they did, like, I haven't seen the prior, but because I was like, well, I don't understand who Jack is. Like, I don't want to, I'll get into that another time. But you know, they tried to wrap stuff up for other characters in the second to last episode. And so then they could have the final episode be for the boys, which is what the foundational 3 first seasons were about. And then it was hard. You know, I'm a Sam person. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful. I also felt like Dean, like, we, on our podcast, we talk constantly about, remember when there were real world consequences for what they did? And like, you know what I mean? Like, FBI is after them. Dean had to go into hiding because he's wanted for murder in 3 states. Like, all that stuff was so cool. But they get away from that when it gets so big. It's talking about, like, you know, like the apocalypse and stuff. And then it's constant stuff like the Leviathan, all these things. So then there's like these Deus Ex Machina situations where Chuck's like, oh, I fixed it to where like, you guys don't have to, like, you're fine. You know, and it was all this stuff where it got so big that there was nothing rooting us to it. And I felt like a lot of people who were upset about the way Dean went were totally valid, because you know what they didn't try to build back in before that happened was real world consequences. And then if they could have done that, if they could have, as writers, said this needs to be earned and not just we did it because it's the ending, then maybe it could, you know what I mean? Like, and so I get where you're coming from. Like, it's not fair to people who love Dean and want more for him when you're thinking, okay, Rebar took my man out. Like, what? Like, well, yeah, like maybe that could have happened in season 2, but we are over a decade past that, and you guys have taught us that isn't how my man's gonna go. And so I totally get it. I was interested where you guys, you know, fell on that. We were just so grateful as on our on my Sam podcast that like Sam kind of got a beautiful moment after seasons of being thrown against a wall that we were like, yes. But then you know,
Yeah.
I would be. I am so fucking interested to see if your opinion changes when you've watched 15.
I would really like to know too, because
I'm so fucking interested.
is that when like John and Mary come back, or is that like, I know there's just like the craziest stuff happens.
Mary comes back. So the episode with John and Mary it's Lebanon, and it's the 300th episode. And the reason that John's there is for like, John is not back. He's just back for that one episode. But Mary does come back for a period of time as herself. But John is like magicked in for that one episode. It's got the best blooper of like one of the best bloopers of all time.
You get all those goofy men together, and they're just gonna do what they do.
This is how I know the show. You have a much higher chance of me remembering what the fucking episode is if there's a blooper associated with it. But for me, my to like TLDR, my opinion on the Supernatural finale is, isn't it weird that 15 ended on 19 episodes? You'd think they'd have picked a round number like 15 or 20, but I mean, it's their show, I guess. 19's fine. I consider 19 to be the
finale
ending. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
it would be interesting because I've only the opposite of me, where like you're like, I don't watch the ending, and I was like, I have only watched the ending.
Well, I'm really fucking interested, just because like the way that they'd set it up, and I remember reading about it at the time, is they were like 19 is the season 15 finale. And then 20 is the series.
That's interesting. Yeah, when you try to do that, I feel like you're trying to make everyone happy, and then you end up not making anyone happy. So I get it.
A lot of your questions, I don't want to spoil anything.
Depend on if I watch that. Yeah, that was
a lot of your questions about the finale will be explained over the course of 15.
Okay,
and they will. It will make sense. But I will tell you now, it will bring you no comfort. It will only bring you further frustration.
That's what I've been told. Vic has seen everything.
It underpins, like, you know, the episode Dark Side of the Moon?
Don't know. Please.
It's the one when they die. Is it 4 or 5?
Oh, it's 5, and it is
5.
Like it is the most traumatic. I can't. That's where he throws the amulet in the. I can't.
Yeah, well,
that's where he throws the necklace away, and I was like, you know that part in Mean Girls where Damien, Katie breaks the tiara, and Damien goes, oh! That's like me when Dean throws the necklace, and I'm like, oh my god, how could you do it?
God, how could you? Well, I hate that episode.
It hurts.
I hate that episode. Deeply. Not for that one. Not for that reason though.
Oh, tell me why.
I hate that episode because it takes away all of the threat of dying.
Oh, yeah, because it shows you what's waiting for you.
Well, that, and also because when they get to where, I think it's Joshua, some angel they're trying to reach or whatever, and he's like, no, you've died before. The angels will send you back. That's why they're looking for you. This has happened lots of times. They just keep sending you back. And it just absolutely just claws the bottom out of every bit of threat. Because when you think about it before,
the stakes aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
Dean sold his soul for Sam, and then it was claimed. You know, he didn't welch out at the last minute. They didn't. No. If that had been like a season 9, there would have been some fucking artifact of God, Hail Mary, some unknown angel that is 3 times more powerful than anybody else that would have yanked them out of the fire at the last second, but there wasn't. There was payoff. He sold his soul, and it required a divine intervention to bring him back to life. And it was momentous, and it meant things. And then, like, other characters like Ellen and Joe, Ash, other people, they died, and their deaths were permanent.
Yeah. When Ash died, that was horrific.
Ellen and Joe, fuck that scene at the end.
I know it's coming. It hasn't happened yet, but you know, I have supernatural amnesia. It'll come to me when it comes to me. But I did not realize Ash died so early. Like he has like a like a charred hand, and they find something he's that's what it is.
A watch or something.
And I was like, hello, is this the CW is just showing a charred corpse, and they're like, oh man, our friend Ash is a charred skeleton. I was like, dude. That hurt my feelings. Anyways, my favorite character is Bobby. I also like Crowley. I think Crowley's really fun. But early on, I was like deeply upset when they killed off Henriksen, the FBI agent who was coming for them. Yeah. That was such a fun run. Like he was so interesting, and I hated that they ended up killing him. I felt like that was just like you could have done so much fun stuff, because once he trusts you, like you could then have a FBI agent who understands that there is supernatural stuff and he's an asset. How freaking fun is that? You can have him.
You got an inside man, literally an inside man.
There's a doctor who knows things are true, because there's that Snow White episode where his daughter's like astral projecting in her coma. He knows that. So then you have a network, you have a FBI, you have the doctor. Those are cool elements that I feel the writers really squander. The same thing with the Roadhouse. You blew up the Roadhouse. That could be a spinoff, brother. Like, how many cool stories come through that Hunter Roadhouse, but we burnt it down. Like, my favorite characters are the like what could have beens, I guess, of like the early seasons that they forget.
So are you gonna wait until the as you wait to watch the last few seasons as you watch them for the podcast, or are you gonna watch in the
This is a really good question, because we started this podcast because we were just like, we've been friends forever. Like, we met on Tumblr because of Supernatural. We talk every day. Like, that's the beauty of the show. And we've told Jared, we're like, we have these friends here. We've like commissioned fan art of all of us, because we're all over the place. And so it's really hard to have photos of us together. Now, I did go to London. I did visit Vic and Jess. I've gone to Baltimore, and I visited Elle. And so I've met everyone. I'm the only one who's gotten to meet everyone. But so we needed a photo. And so this awesome supernatural artist from like 2014, 2015. I don't know if you ever followed her. She did the Ask Sam stuff Tumblr. Where you could ask a question in the ask box, and then she would draw a comic of Sam answering the question. It was so cute. She made a book out of it.
That's adorable.
Oh my God, it's so cute. I purchased her book because she had so much beautiful art from it. It was like hundreds of pages of art, but she did this. I commissioned her to do like this. We call us the Sam fam, and we were in this photo. We were like, it was like us, like just taking care of Sam. It was really cute. And so two of us from different continents have gone to conventions to meet Jared, and we've had him sign that. And so he's like, like, friends, you guys meet friends. And it's like, yeah, we did. And we were showing him, we meet these friends. And so we were just like, well, we never shut up about Sam. It's been 10 years. What if we just recorded talking about it?
Maybe we should yell at other people about our opinions.
I was like, we should yell at least into a microphone, so if someone wants to hear us shrieking, they can turn us on. But we will be talking anyways. We'll be recording.
Yeah.
And so, at first we weren't sure the format we wanted to do. Like, I was like, I don't know if I want to do rewatch. Like, that's a lot to take on. What could we talk about? And then we just kept talking about things that we used to discuss. And I was like, this is so disorganized. We might as well just talk about it, as it comes up as we watch. So let's do a rewatch. So we started with season 1, and now we've done 3 seasons in 2 years, which is not sustainable, but was very fun.
That's impressive, though.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I just kind of put my nose to the grindstone, and I was like, I want to figure out how to do this. I know it's not going to be perfect, but I'm just going to do it and see what happens. And so it's been trial and error, and that's why I've tried to do as much as I have in 2 years, despite it being a lot. We also just end a season and go, I really want to start talking about that other season, and just start.
Start the next one immediately.
But we've never known how far we would get. We've never known, like, will we keep doing this? Will people want to like hear us do this? Will it be a sustainable, like financially sustainable? Will our time management be sustainable? And so we're definitely going to do 4 and 5, and then we'll see how we feel after that. If people want to hear us screaming about Soulless Sam, which I would love to do, we'll keep going. And so then it comes. I love Soulless Sam. I love him. Do you love him?
I love him.
Yay. Okay.
The third man. The third man. It's the one with that opening with the Sam does pull-ups.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talk about that scene all the time because that sex worker forgot to collect her fee because our man is so good. She forgot she was working.
It's just the bestest.
I love him. One of my favorite things that Jared has ever said, like he was like on a red carpet and they were asking him questions. And they asked him about Soulless Sam, and he said, "Oh, Soulless Sam, he's a tiger." And I was like, "Period, absolutely,
yes." The standing opinion of me. I won't speak for idling in the Impala, but the standing opinion of me is Dean Winchester makes love, Sam Winchester fucks, and I will.
The thing that we love, the thing that we love about like Sam is what we've noticed is that. And this is very specific to Sam. I guess fans will notice this is because he kind of adapts to whoever his partner is in that moment. Like with for instance, with Madison in season 2, like it's very like animalistic. In the werewolf, the heart episode.
Yeah. No. I know the episode. I was just thinking of those fucking biceps.
Oh, I know, dude. I know.
The huge hand and the forearm and the bicep, and you're like, fuck. That one.
Exactly. And so it was like, I think he is one of the things that we believe from our research is that he is like a service top, power service top, I don't know, whatever, service bottom, whatever it's called, where he's just like, I want my person to have a great time. That means I'm having a great time.
Oh, that's interesting, because I consider Dean a service top.
I think it was, what is Vic always calls it, something. I don't know. I'm not cool enough to know the terms, but I don't think of Dean having sex because it makes me uncomfortable. Like I was watching Route 666 and this is, y'all asked me like 25 years ago, like, did you watch the DVD or did you stream? And I forgot to tell you why I ended up buying the box set was Route 666 because the music they have in the streaming is so abhorrent. I was like, no, like it was awful. And I said, I'll never do this again. I bought the like $150 like full box set immediately.
The Blu-ray with all of the bits and pieces.
Yes.
And things. Yep.
So that I didn't ever have to risk feeling that way again. And I think like Dean is very like he's very desirable. Like we're in that episode where he goes and he reconnects with Lisa for the first time. And like all the suburban moms are like, oh my God.
Best night of my life, Dean.
Winchester. Yes. Yeah. Like I get it. I think what's sexy to me about Sam is that like he's like a dark horse sexy where like he's kind of quiet and like he's very like Dean will be like, go get a girl, man. Like go hit on that girl. And he's like, whatever, Dean. Like, and then he gets into the moment and it's like a switch flips and he's like, animal man. Like, it's just, I don't know. I love the duality. It's fun.
I just like, I'm not saying that Sam doesn't do soft and gentle and, you know, nice sex. I'm just saying historically the sex that we've seen on the show,
when he fucks. He picks that girl up in the bathroom and puts her on the sink. You're like, watch the faucet.
Like, I'm sorry. All of I Know What You Did Last Summer, he fucking lifts like just with no effort, with Jen. He just fucking lifts her and puts her. And his hand is the size of her head. I am not normal about that episode. I'm not normal about it.
I know. Oh my god. How did we get here?
Did you say you done? You stopped at 11? Oh, you finished 11.
So I still haven't answered the question because I went off on another tangent, which led me back to answering an earlier question that I
So up to season 11 is like when you stopped. Okay.
I stopped because my life exploded. So like it was when was 11? 2016. And like I got a divorce. I moved to Dallas. Like I was just like, wow, I'm deeply depressed. I love you, Supernatural, but this ain't it for me right now.
It wasn't there right now. Yeah.
I switched and then I just never caught up. But I did have my Sam friends who were like, hey, you should definitely watch Red Meat. It's a good Sam episode. And so then I was like, okay. And so I'd watch like the episodes that I was suggested to watch, but I just never have gotten back around. And I don't want anybody listening to be like, ew, she hasn't watched the whole thing and she's doing a podcast. I feel like I will finish. I just haven't gotten there yet. We're only on season 3. So I feel like my focus has been on what I'm doing now and what I hope is that I have a break, and maybe a Patreon thing I can do is watch 11 through 15 for the first time and talk about it. And then on the main feed, I can discuss it in the ways that I discuss the other seasons with all of my notes and stuff like that. Because I feel like you kind of have to watch it more than once to have the level of like critique and like analysis.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, like
Yeah.
would you watch it beforehand and then watch it again, or would you kind of
For
like
sure.
do a first watch and then make the notes?
I would
So that
need
makes
to
sense.
see it first, I think, and absorb it as an arc and then go in, because that's kind of how we're dissecting each of the older episodes.
Neat. No, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
All that to say, my question was, did you see the season 11 episode Baby? Or did you stop before then?
I did see Baby.
Okay.
I stopped at 11:08 is the
Books.
last one I watched, I think. The one with Sunny, the little imaginary
Oh,
friend.
Sully. Yeah.
Sully. I always
That's
call him wrong.
great. I love that.
Oh, that's great. I'm
Cutest.
glad you got to see that one then.
Oh,
because
so
that one I think is
precious.
such a great Sam episode. You were talking about how he makes himself smaller, and I just felt like the direction and how Jared handled himself in that episode too is just so very indicative of, like, you know, like you just in that one, like when they're talking to each other and you could just see him like curling in on himself and just becoming this little kid again and like having this
Yes.
conversation.
Again,
Yeah, it was great. That was great.
Yeah, Vic said that she went to the Birmingham convention last year, and she got to meet Jared, and there was someone there dressed as Sully, like cosplaying Sully, which is like the cutest.
I
really
got to go to a
cute.
convention where Nate Torrance was there, and that was great. Just to have him, like, to see him talking about the episode and stuff. That was great. That was great.
I love that
I really
so
love
much.
that. I love that a lot. One really important show related question, because it ties into where I think Audree's at with their podcast as well. So
Okay.
do you want to hit that
So-
one?
Yeah. The season 3 episode Mystery Spot. Where do you stand on that? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I found that there's very rarely an in between. It's much like
I
Marmite.
love this. Okay, so Mystery Spot is interesting because I think if you're watching as a Sam person, you're like, wow, this is horrifying. And then if you're watching as just like a Dean person, because Dean is kind of like, or just as a general like viewer, like you might not even have a favorite. You're just like, okay, haha, it's funny. And so then it's like, where do I land? And so like, I enjoy it. I think it's one of the best done episodes. I think writing, directing, acting. Oh my God, Jared's amazing. Dean, so funny. Like, it's hard to be funny. And I think there's been times on our podcast that we will compare Jensen's acting to like that of like Matt LeBlanc, Joey Tribbiani on Friends. Like he has
Yeah.
such good comic timing.
Yeah.
His physical comedy is so good. And so you're very torn, but I will tell you this, Kasey, like it hurts my feelings. It really hurts my feelings. I enjoy it, but it makes me sad.
Okay, good. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. guys. I'm
No,
not
and
alone.
I think
I
that's
hate it.
normal to watch and be like, wow, my favorite character is being literally tortured. And Gabriel like appears and says, yeah, no, that's what I'm doing to you. It's not about Dean. He won't even remember this. I'm torturing you.
It's literally, it's
specifically.
personal for you. This is just for you,
yeah.
bro.
And I think thematically it makes a lot of sense. And like I think we talked about this on our, because we just did season 3 about how the writer's strike of 2007 was happening, and that they, that's why it's a shorter season, and that they had actually created this episode as a possible series finale because they didn't know if they were going to come back, and that they could put this at the end of the season if they needed to, so it would be the ending. And I do think thematically it makes sense that if they are going to end the show here, the message of the show has to be, you boys need to stop messing with this. You have to learn to let go. Everyone has to accept death. You do too. But as a Sam fan, is that what I want to see my man have to go through on the last episode? No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is how I feel about it as a Sam person. That's why this season we used to have like a scale we would rate an episode on that's about Sam. We had to enter in a unbiased, just general scale, because we would like measure awesome episodes low and then be like, but I like the episode, but
But as a Sam fan, it hurts my soul.
yeah, like the one that my friends were like, my podcast pals were really like shocked about in season 2 was Born Under a Bad Sign, where Sam is not Sam the entire episode. He's actually a demon.
That is one of my favorite Sam episodes.
And I can't say I hate it. It makes me very upset.
Oh no, really?
Yes, and that was the thing is I was like, I'm grading it down because it hurt my feelings. And they were like, I can't believe you made us rate this. So I average our ratings together and I was like, well, I didn't enjoy this or this. And he's not there. Like there's one of the parts of our rating system was like screen time. And while Jared was on screen the whole time, Sam is on there like 4
Sam's
seconds.
not Sam, yeah.
And so they were like, we hate rating this low. And I was like, I don't. But I understand where you're coming from. I don't like him looking like a sexual predator. It's very upsetting to me. But then they were like,
right. I agree with you.
Poor, oh my gosh. She was
I agree with you.
Again, the giant hand, and you're like, oh. That's the thing about, and that's what I really love. This is a tangent, but that's the thing I really love about Jared's acting as Sam is I think Sam has realized, and through his trauma of being possessed so many times, what a weapon, literal weapon of the enemy he becomes when he's possessed. That's why it's so traumatic for him. And I think that's part of the reason he makes Sam so small is because he's like, I'm big and scary and I need to be smaller because I have seen my hands do these things because I am giant and I can be very powerful. I'm getting emotional, guys. Oh, poor Sam. But like that is part of the trauma is not even that it is torture for him to be possessed.
Guys.
But like he's I'm just like pontificating like about but
he doesn't have any say
up for this.
Yeah. His consent has been like you know, but then also he's watched his own hands do horrible things. And that's one of them is Born Under a Bad Sign is like, I would never imagine that Sam would treat a woman in that way. And he had to, you know, he was like, I was awake for some of it, Dean. Like it was really traumatic for him. Anyways, I don't know what the question was. It went far away from what I meant to say.
The initial question was around Mystery Spot, but now now you've made me reevaluate Born Under a Bad Sign because
it's a great episode.
I really like that episode and like see there's something about like Meg Sam it's so divorced from real Sam to me. That I'm like, I can find this attractive in like a fantasy fiction kind of way. Like, please don't I'm not out here being like, oh no. No. In a fantasy fictional, he's fucking hot. And that song and the giant hand and the fuck.
I think it's like that. There's something about the like femininity that Jared brings to the Meg character. Like it's very interesting. Like on the episode that we did over it, like Vic points out a few times that you can tell when Meg is playing Sam. And so Jared's playing Meg playing Sam. Yeah. And then you can tell when Jared is playing Meg inside of Sam. And it's very different. Like Sam walks different. It's more feminine. Like it's very fun. It's very interesting. And I think that's part of what's kind of hot about it is like, you know, there's a feminine energy that Jared kind of taps into to bring the menacing parts of Meg forward. I don't know. I'm with you.
I think Jared has, and I know that Jensen can do it, but he got so very few opportunities to do it. But Jared has this ability to like take a character that's previously been played by somebody else and really fucking nail it.
Yes, he
like
actually
Samifer. He
did that. Oh my god.
Well, no, white suit Samifer is a bit weird, right? But flannel shirt Samifer.
I think the white suit's pretty cool. I kind of liked it. I thought it was hot. I was like, I don't think anybody should wear a white suit ever. Unfortunately, and I love a white suit. Like I just read Gatsby with my juniors, and we watched both Gatsbys, and so like we got Leo in a white suit, and they were like mimicking the original like 1974 Gatsby, Robert Redford in a white suit. It just looks so good. I don't know why I like a white suit. I would spill coffee on it if it were me, but maybe that's what it is.
Inherently a very clumsy person, so white is dangerous to me, isn't it? But I don't like white suits. I think that I can see the symbolism that they were going for, but it's like it's the equivalent of sliding something across a table and picking it up and pelting someone in the face with it. And like they could have just slid the symbolism across the table.
I see. You wanted it more subtle.
But instead, they picked up the salt and pepper shakers. I was like, can I have some salt, please? And they fucking fastballed it straight at my face. The rose, it was white
rock salt.
Stew. Yeah, it was fucking rock salt, like straight in my face. And now, like, the rose, the suit. Oh, Dean, it will always end it. Like, it was too much. It was too much for me. It was too much.
That is so fun. I love that you have such a because I have serious wardrobe opinions as well. We actually have a system to discuss the wardrobe every episode because I have such hard opinions about certain ones.
Okay,
so I think that's amazing.
We're gonna tangent. We're coming back to this. We're gonna tangent.
I'm so sorry.
Do you? No. I'm tangenting. I'm taking us off. We're coming back to this point though. Do you consider the fact that Sam has never worn a fucking jacket that fits him, and I have a lot of feelings about it, and I hate it. And we recently did we rank everything on the show. So we've done shirts, and then we did outfits and costumes. And one of mine was Sam wears a pea coat for a couple of episodes in 13, so you won't have seen them. But they're the only fucking coats that fit him in 15 fucking seasons, and I love them so much. Every time he wears a fucking coat that's tucked up around his belly button, and then for some reason Jared's well, Sam would absolutely put his. It's like a hunch over thing. I get it, but I'm somebody get this man some clothes that fit, please. Fuck,
he's too long. He's a long boy. We got to see Tommy sometime.
Jackets are crop tops under his titties, and then you're gonna put his hands in the pockets, and he's
sorry.
Bleh.
I would never complain about seeing Sam's tummy.
No, but he's wearing so many layers.
That is true. I always laugh about. I do 3 shirts. Dean has returned. There's 3 shirts. I'm he's wearing 3 shirts. He's wearing 3 shirts. And every episode, I have to say, there they are. The 3 shirts are back. And I know it's because they're in Vancouver, but they're supposed to not be. They're supposed to be in Richardson, Texas. So they layer them so they can look like they're wearing regular clothes, but it's actually warm enough for Canada. But I will say,
no, it's to hide the weapons. No, it's to hide the weapons.
I think it's to hide the titties. I think that's what it is. I think it's to hide the titties because nobody would be able to.
Dean's nipples would take him a lot of screen time if they didn't put a few layers on that boy.
So funny.
If Sam was wearing a jacket under his titties with nothing else, I'd be here for it. I'd be like, undo that zip, baby. Oh, yeah. But he's not. He's wearing 14 fucking layers, either for weapons purposes or Vancouver purposes. And then they put this teeny tiny little crop top of a jacket on him. And he has to do, and I really hate it. It really bothers me. Give him a jacket that fits.
I guess I never thought about it. I think part of what we love about Sam's lack of good wardrobe choices is essentially that he grew up probably getting hand-me-downs. He grew up never having his own stuff, and now he doesn't really know how to dress himself, and that he wouldn't find it to be something that's within it. I look at it from a character standpoint. If I'm looking at it from CW, get a better budget, point of view, then obviously that's ridiculous. But we kind of love a slouchy little hoodie, Sam, because it does disappear eventually. He doesn't have his hoodie anymore, and
I don't mind slouchy hoodies because at least they flirt with the waistband, right? Jeans. I love a occasionally there's an inch of overlap. Just very rarely, if he hunches his shoulders just right, the hoodie and the jeans meet, and there's an inch of overlap.
We have tummy spotting. We're looking for there's his hip bone, and you don't get that if it fits, and I appreciate it. But I love a Hot Professor Sam moment where he's in in a little blazer and he has I love a moment like that. But I guess I never noticed. I think we're just used to things not fitting him because he wears those horrible shoes. Those are they look like horse hooves, and he wears them all the time. And then Jared actually took them from the set because he's these really fit me, and so now Jared wears them everywhere. And I just love my giraffe man. It's just cute. Giraffes are awkward.
I love his boots. I maintain. In the early seasons, they always wore ill-fitting suits, and then as you get to sort of 6, 7, the suits started fitting really well. And I maintain that it was because Jared had finally finished bulking out and his shoulder to waist ratio was such you couldn't get it off the rack. So they were we're going to fit this. And you can't just fit one of them. They have to have fitted suits now. This has to be bespoke. So that's, but then I will also, on the other hand, somebody had their prison suit tailored in Folsom Prison Blues, and it wasn't Jared.
Are you talking about the jumpsuit? Because we love the orange. Because when he drops down on his booty's out, it's just poof, the jumpsuit.
Behind the scenes, Jensen had his tailored. Jared didn't.
Well, no wonder the booty was because it's for a normal sized man, and you're hanging off of the ladder and dropping down. It's stressed. The jumpsuit is stressed.
Have you guys noticed? Because I just noticed this in season 3 that there's a nice plumber's butt moment with Sam?
Yes,
I think
we talked about it. I screenshotted it.
What episode?
It's at the end of bedtime stories, right? Like when he gets ready to talk to the crossroads demon. Like he bends down,
he's like digging in.
and
he's burying.
My
the
husband
Oh.
was actually like, "Did we just see plumber's crack?"
We just saw crack. I asked all of my friends on the pod. I was like, "Did you notice Jared's full like crack was out?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Am I a pervert? I noticed."
Well, my husband
You
noticed. I was
might-
like, "There's plumber's crack there." I'm like, "Yes, indeed. I think I just saw that
Absolutely
too."
there
You
is.
might be a pervert, but you are among good company.
Yeah,
because
You are among good
I'm
company.
yeah. Tell Sandra, tell your husband that he's not alone. I also noticed. And I made sure to put it in our visuals that week because I was like, I'm not a weirdo. I didn't imagine it.
It's there. There was butt crack. It was all there. It was all there.
Oh my
That's
god,
so
that's too funny. And
So
you would
y'all
not have
ranked,
seen that
like-
if the shirt was
You
too
need
long.
ill-fitting hoodies, or we wouldn't have known.
It's
Okay, so
I
y'all
could tell-
ranked shirts. What I have, there's an infamous shirt on our podcast. I'm alone. I hate this shirt.
Mm.
Everyone
Is it
else
the
thinks
fucking
it's
cream one with the flowers?
No, I hate that. They like it, but they don't. They're not as. They're. I want that one too. That is from hell.
Come with me, Audrey. We're gonna make a new Sam Winchester podcast with
Yeah,
blackjack
we're
and
like,
hookers
with better
with
taste.
good fashion taste.
Where we hate the shirt. Well, no, I call it the rusty bacon shirt, where it's like a rust color, but it looks like bacon is stapled to his shirt, to his chest. It's a pearl snap. They all think it's beautiful. I'm like, but there's bacon on his chest. Like, I don't like it. But it appears for the first time in the same episode. That cream ass shirt appears in the It's the Christmas special. He wears both of my Nemesis shirts on the same episode. And it's one of my favorites. I feel, I don't know, targeted.
I think we only ranked our favorite shirts. We didn't want to be hating on the costume.
Yeah,
But my favorite was a red and black flannel from the later seasons.
Oh,
But-
yeah, those are beautiful.
But the yoga outfit made an appearance.
Yoga Sam, take the wheel. That is one of our friends, like literally made a GIF we used to send around instead of Jesus take the wheel. It was Yoga Sam take the
Yoga
wheel.
Sam take the wheel.
That's how you know you're like deep in Tumblr because it's like that makes no sense anywhere else. Literally, these 4 people know this joke, and that's
Oh my god, that's amazing. I love all of that. Yeah, we don't rank the same way because again we're not a rewatch, so we kind of just do things here and there.
do things. Yeah, I listened to one of y'all's episodes talking about the bloopers, which is super fun. I love that.
Is it the shirt that he's wearing when they get tied up by? That is disgusting.
Gods, yeah, I hate it. It does look like bacon is there, but it is there the whole series. They have made graphics, specifically gift sets of just the Rusty Bacon shirt through the seasons for my torment. And I'm like, I feel loved, friends. Like they're like, look at this all of the times, and it's literally every season. It's in every season.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
It is really gross. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm used to the flannels being low-key gross, so I don't pay that much attention to them. It's that cream shirt with the flowers. I really fucking hate that one.
And it's like inside out a little bit somehow. Like, why is it a little bit? It looks like you have a paisley shirt on inside out, and then you roll your
every
sleeves
bit
up?
of that shirt, every bit of that shirt is wrong, and it should be burned.
It's offensive. I don't get it.
But I'm never gonna be able to look. There's a bacon shirt, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a blue version of it too, you guys. There's a blue and gray version, and and it has the same bacon kind of like because the stripes are one way, but then there's 2 stripes on the chest. But
on the titties, yes.
It doesn't
stripes.
it doesn't look as bad though in blue and gray, so I don't mind it as much. But they call it the Rusty Bacon cousin. It's so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
This is what fandom does. We create our culture. We create our vocabulary. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There is a specific episode. Again, I think it's in the seasons that you haven't watched. That if I had the power as a moderator in my Discord server, I would ban every GIF from this episode. And we were recording something. We were recording like alter egos and stuff like that, like alter characters. And I was like, if I had the power and the technical know-how, I would ban every instance of this character from my Discord. And every time someone posts a GIF of this character, I pop up deliberately to be like, not allowed in the server. And I can't enforce it. I can't. So people keep sharing the fucking GIFs. And I'm
Can
like,
I guess who it is?
You can guess, yeah.
Because I think I have been spoiled for many things. Is it when Misha was playing Lucifer?
No, it wasn't. It's a Sam character. It's a Sam. It's a Sam character.
Oh, tell me. I want to know. You can spoil it. I'm fine.
It's so It's like,
is it when he's like in the glasses?
yes.
I
Yes.
love his outfit though. He's so cute.
No, absolutely.
When
Do
you
not
were
post it in my
talking
Discord.
professor, I was like, I bet Audree.
I love that, but like there's a
fucking
scene or two
cardigan
where like
and the
I love a cardigan. I love a big old man in a cardigan. I just do. I'm like,
I like
oh,
Jensen
big and
in a
giant,
cardigan.
but then like, but you're like in a soft, like,
Yeah, that's what they make hoodies for. That's what they make hoodies for. I don't need them in a cardigan.
I need a giant man in a cardigan. I just for some reason love that. But especially what I was referring to, like Hot Professor Sam, is there's like some seasons where it's way before I stopped watching. It was like maybe 8 because he had the really beautiful long hair. He had like kind of a blazer thing happening. And then I had friends who were making like because we would live blog on Tumblr every episode. So maybe it was even it could have been season 10 even maybe, but like season 9 or 10 or maybe 9, I don't know. And so like me and Jess would be like, "Hot Professor Sam's like spotting or whatever, like we saw you." And so then our friend would like draw us like freaking out over Hot Professor Sam, and then Hot Professor Sam was like, "What's wrong with these girls?" And he's like teaching us English and we were like, "He's hot." Anyways, it was very like an Indiana Jones like thing. But it was because he would wear things. I'd be like, "Oh, he looks like an English professor." I mean, all the time.
Again, I would like you to go and watch that episode and
I
actually
need
see
to.
the characterization, and then come back to me and be like,
it's very
don't
cringe.
Cardigan,
Like, 'cause
Jared.
I think it's like it's very cringe, right? Because he's also like schnookums or whatever. Right? Isn't he talking to his wife kind of like weird and like okay,
yeah, that's the it's I don't like the outfit, but then his whole personality is like 50s husband. So
Yes,
you know, it's like you can wash your mouth out with soap, sir. And I'm like, oh God,
that is very upsetting.
Stressing to me.
You got so
Anyway,
much
one
to
day-
look forward to, Audrey.
One day
Oh
I
my
will have the
God,
technical
can't wait.
know-how, and I will ban that from the Discord. Y'all.
I've just heard very colorful things about Misha playing Lucifer, so I was like, well, maybe she's cringed out by that, but or they're cringed out by that. But like, I forgot that we could be cringed out by Sam because what is he? A tall baby man who's perfect.
He's an angel baby man who's never done a thing wrong, even once in his life. Even once in his life. And just to like, I've completely abandoned the question sheet, Sandra. Sorry.
That's fine.
just
I'll get us
fucking
back
passed
in
it
a
up.
little bit.
Just passed it across. On the subject of Sam Winchester being an angel baby man that has never done a thing wrong a day in his life, Audrey, talk to me about the ending of season 8.
Oh, my feelings are hurt. Okay, let's talk about it's sacrifice, right? Okay, so I feel, and my whole thing with 8 is really complicated because I know that's where the schism in the fandom really begins. And my understanding too is that, you know, they were taught over and over again, you know, do not stop, do not go after, like, let go, let them die, do not go after them. When Dean returns, he's very angry, understandably so. It sucked to be in purgatory. My understanding is that Sam did not know that Dean wasn't just dead and in heaven. Like that's my understanding, is that that's what he thought. And then it comes up with Bobby that they made a pact. If one of them were to ever die, they would let them rest. And Bobby was like, I taught you that pact, but we don't honor that pact. And then I get upset because I'm like, okay, Sam is taking Dean and Bobby at his word, and he's still not getting, like, he still can't win. And so that whole season was really hard for me because the fandom was really hard on Sam, and Sam was already suffering. And so then we get to the end of that season, and I think Vic has done a lot of discussion on this. I keep referencing her, Vic, because she's brilliant and she has such insightful takes. But we've talked about sacrifice outside of, obviously, you know, doing the seasons in order, because it's such an imperative, like, important turning point, I think. And what Sam is kind of like expressing to Dean is like, you've made it very clear that you don't trust me, you don't value what I offer because you don't trust me, and I'm worthless. So this is the only way that I can prove that, and I can make up for those things, because he's been like beat down for so long about this thing that he's like, yeah, if I die, it's fine, because I will finally prove to you that I'm a good brother. And I think that's really hard. At the end of season 8, Dean kind of says like, I don't understand why you would think this. I get frustrated.
Lies.
He's like, what does he say? He says, how dare you think that? Or like,
I will
don't think
tell
there's
you.
anything.
I will
What does
tell
he
you what he
say?
says. I will tell you what he says after an entire fucking season, which, let's be charitable and say, takes place over 6 months. Okay? After 6 fucking months of hauling Sam over the coals, you didn't look for me in purgatory. You didn't look for me in purgatory. And while I was in purgatory, I found this other dude, and he's so much better as a brother than you. But
Benny!
no, I love Benny. Right. But
Yeah, Benny's cool.
charitably, 6 months of hauling Sam over the coals to the point where, as you say, Sam is like, the only thing I have left to give is my actual life. And he stands in that fucking church. And for some reason, I'm not religious, but for some reason, the fact that it's a church bothers me more than anything.
Yes.
He stands in that church on that fucking hallowed ground and says, don't you think there is anybody I would put before you? You liar!
It's true.
Liar!
I'm so glad to know I'm in the company of someone who's as enraged as me, because I'm trying to be really like mellow about it, but I really
No, I would not. I would die mad about that.
Meet me in the
never get
fucking
over
parking
it.
lot, Dean. Meet me in the parking lot, because like, how could you ever think anybody's above you? Because you've proven it to me over and over again. You've proven to me that you care more about Castiel. You've proven to me that Benny is someone you trust over me, a monster who, before you went to purgatory, you told me we should kill all monsters, even my friend in season 7, who I knew since I was a kid. Like, you have proven to me all of these things.
And
You're
not only Amy, Dean got all bitchy, whiny, pissy about Sam killing Emma when he couldn't. Oh, but she was a monster, Dean. She was going to kill you. I did what you couldn't.
It's only
I'm gonna
okay
go
when
kill this
Dean does
childhood
it.
friend.
Yeah,
As
it's only
revenge.
okay when Dean does it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we get into, where it's like, here's where all that begins here at the beginning of the series. And once you get to season 8, once you get to season 9, which I think is the most egregious schism between the boys, where like Dean knows that Sam would not give consent, overrides consent, asks Gadriel in secret, knowing that Sam would rather die, and still is like, no, go ahead and climb on into my brother, facilitating what I believe in, what we discuss on my podcast is like, an assault metaphor throughout the entire series is angel possession, and it's coercive in nature. And for that to happen immediately after this is some of the hardest stuff that, as a Sam person, we go through with Dean, because I feel like if Dean does not apologize and atone for that, there's never going to be equality between those brothers in their trust and love ever again. And it never happens, which is another reason why I'm like, well, I might go back later, but I'm still mad. So when I look at this, and I want to like shout out my friend Elle, because at the end of season 8, she was so disturbed by the ending, because we're, she's a Sam person. She's a writer. She's a fucking author. She just published, like, she's published. She's amazing. Aww. She planned out over that summer and season 9 that she would be comfortable with. It's called Lustra. And it's the Lustra is the last word of Latin in the spell that Sam never says in the show. And so she creates an AU where he does finish the spell and says the last word. And she has the whole season planned out, and she hasn't finished it, but she has 9 episodes. And so it is all about the boys' relationship and trying to heal it. She writes from Sam's point of view. She writes from Dean's point of view. It's incredible. If y'all are ever interested in reading a AU. And then what's crazy is that she actually does end up introducing a Gadriel angel into her season 9, which she wrote before season 9 dropped. And so then it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not finished. It's incredible. And she takes deep care for the boys' relationship. And it's kind of like a fix it fic before the season 9 actually dropped, which is really cool.
That's great. No.
Anyways, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Season 8. Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
I would never say Dean is a perfect baby man, and I love Dean, and I know that he's not a perfect baby man, and I know a lot of it comes from, his fear and, all of these things, and his unworthiness as well. So I think he's very complicated and doesn't always make the right decisions based off of thinking of, what's best, I guess, for anyone outside of what he feels is like, well, I have to like, you know,
what he can control.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like Dean is afraid he can't be chosen, and so he must be needed. And so if he, and that's his big issue with like, there's nothing wrong with Sam going to college. The fact that John wanted to, you know, put morality on leaving the family as if that's not what you're doing when you raise a child, is hoping they go out on their own and become their own person. But when Dean sees that, his morality is going to be linked to his loyalty, fear, like you were saying. And he's like, you have to be loyal to me because I'm your brother. And if we sever that, if I accept that a brother can go and do their own thing and that's okay, then what it means is I'm alone. And so I have to find a way to make it to where Sam believes he must be with me at all times, or he's morally wrong, so that I don't have to fear being alone because I can't trust I'll be chosen. I can only trust that I will be like needed. And I think it's fascinating. He's a fascinating character. And I like the way that they're written. And as much as I have many issues with the writing, but I've never questioned the validity of the boys' evolution at any point. Even when I don't like it, I'm like, no, this makes sense that this would happen. This makes, I don't like it, hurts my feelings. But it's always felt really honest to me, their relationship.
Yeah. There's a lot of moments, especially, and like we were talking about the Jin from season 2. I mean, the fact that his Jin dream, you know, has this schism between him and Sam in it, and he's also not feeling worthy enough, and he's like, he's the person that makes all the mistakes, and the one that, you know, is like he's
and it's his
and it's his dream. It's like, you know,
he doesn't even
believe in himself like enough
in his
internally.
own like fantasy world.
So I think there's a lot of that with you can overlay them a lot, you know, in terms of like what's their vulnerability, you know. And I think for Dean, I think it's always been, if I don't have the family, I don't have anything, because he's always, I mean, I remember from that, what was it, Shadow, right, like from season 1, and I've heard that was a very hard scene for Jensen to film, because he's like, I don't understand why Dean would like put himself out like that, because he's almost like, he wouldn't, you know, would he really say, I don't have anything if I don't have family? Like, what do I have if you guys, you're going to move on without me? What I want my family together, you know. And I think that says a lot about not feeling worthy enough. And he always
absolutely does,
you know. And but I also love the fact that I don't think, and Kasey hit on this too, I don't think Sam would have had the freedom to feel he could do more if it wasn't for Dean's sacrifices way back. You know what I mean? And I don't think even Dean realized that, you know, that what his taking care of Sam meant, you know, also meant a sacrifice, because he couldn't see beyond the hunting life, and he couldn't see beyond that, but he could see, well, I want to take care of Sam. I want to take care of Sam. And I think that was always in his brain. And yes, he does a lot of stupid shit. And he should, like, I'm just like, oh, Dean, not again. Oh God, why are you doing this? No, Dean, don't.
Dean, stop.
Yeah,
no,
well, I think
I'm back. Okay, good.
I'm so sorry.
We were worried for a second. I was like, okay, are you all right? Do we need to call somebody?
Do we need to call somebody?
It's a bug guy.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you guys think of the episode? What do you guys think of the episode Bugs?
I mean,
because that's one that people think is bad, but I kind of like it.
I always thought it was bad, but the more I watch it, I'm like, oh, it's cute.
Yeah. But I mean, it does definitely have some issues, but I think when you focus more on like the brother moments, you know, I think you get a little more
full
insight
of them.
Yeah, which I think is really good. Yeah. So it's hard, because I'm like, oh yeah, well, because, you know, the special effects suck and different things like that. And like, you know, the poor boys having to get their, you know, they got stung and, you know, like butts, and it's, you know, it's like, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
That is true. Like, it wasn't worth it. It didn't make sense, but the brother moments are like, chef's kiss. I really love for the boys.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments is like when they're outside before they've got the skull or whatever, and it's like they're just talking about Dad and how they have so very different views of their father and how they relate to him. And like, I'm like, it's so interesting to see how you see the relationship and it's not the same, you know. And it's just like, you know, oh, well, you were the favorite, or no, I wasn't. It's like all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's so sibling, you know.
And it's so eye-opening, like the different types of like their different experiences as being a kid they're so different. They had the same thing, and yet it was totally different.
I love how you brought that full circle to bugs. I love.
I wasn't going to waste your time and not bring something to the table.
I love that.
Yeah.
I am cognizant of the time, so I know we could keep going, but I really want to talk about the podcast and dig into that because so one thing I did want to just jump back on a little bit is, so when you were on Tumblr, and how did you find your people that are now like a lot of the people that you actually started this podcast with? Like, how did that happen?
That is such a good question. So I tried to get current before I got on Tumblr because I didn't want to be spoiled. And so I got on Tumblr after I was current, and I was like so excited to like talk about my favorite character, Sam Winchester. And unfortunately, my experience getting on Tumblr was first finding a shit ton of hate for Sam and being like, what's happening? Like, why
does nobody like my blorbo? He's beautiful.
I was like, what are we watching different shows? Because I was so confused. Like, I was just like, wait,
it's not a fever dream. I know I'm watching this. I'm watching this show. Yeah.
It's crazy. And so I was just like, wow, damn. So I kind of started, I found this Tumblr that was beautiful. And it was like Sam Appreciation or something like that. It was run by a girl called Rose, and we actually ended up meeting up at a convention and giving Jared like a book that she had made for him. And
nice.
I know she's the best. And it was huge. It had a ton of followers. So I was like, okay, maybe these are the people. And so she was like, hey, welcome into the fandom. It is a shit show on Tumblr. And so let me kind of help you find your way so that you don't feel consistently like piled on, because like there's a lot of parts of the fandom that like don't like Jared, don't like Sam for some reason or another, and here are your people. And so like I started kind of interacting with her. I found Elle and Vic around the same time because they had gotten, I think they got current around the same time as me.
Okay.
And then Jess was like one of the best like gift makers. Like she could just churn them out. Like and she has her doctorate in Victorian literature, by the way. So when I say that people on my podcast are brilliant, they literally are
That's
so
awesome.
educated. Like I just have a bachelor of English, and I'm like, ooh, I teach freshmen, but y'all are brilliant. So like Elle and I started kind of running in the same circles as Jess and Vic, and then Vic will tell you that she sent me a message once and that I responded, and she was like, oh my God, sunflowerchester responded. And I'm like, relax. Like I might just be a loud girl, but that doesn't mean I'm, like in charge of anything. So then my friend Christy, she's our other pod friend. Me and her were friends in like the Glee fandom. We both loved Darren Chris.
Okay.
And so I was like, hey, do you want to watch another show that will make you scream into a pillow every week? And she was like, sure. And so she started watching Supernatural, and I was like, you're welcome. And I'm sorry. And so that's kind of how we started like running in a group. And there was a few others who aren't on the podcast, but like we were like a crew. And so then we would start, like I said earlier, like every week we would get online, we would live blog. Jess and Vic were like so dedicated. They found like a stream over in UK at like freaking 3 a.m. in the morning or whenever it was for them, bless their hearts.
Oh,
and we would all do it at the same time. It was just so much fun. It was just like a special era. And we kind of carved out our own space on Tumblr because I'm sure there were Sam spaces at the time, but we just didn't everywhere we went, everybody seemed kind of mad at him. So we ended up as a joke creating a blog called Bitter Sam Girl Club. And it has like a bunch of people started following. And so then we were like, okay, cool. So like, we're all the mad Sam fans over here. Like
I'm in good company. Excellent.
Yeah, we get mad because things happen. And so then there would be weekly, like as like season 9 was airing, that's when I got current. We would be like just all caps screaming into the blogs, and it was just really fun because I'm an English teacher, and I my whole point of the reason I do what I do is because I love fiction, I love literature, I love media, and I love analyzing and writing about it. And so every week we were just like essays about what we had just seen. Like it was and so that was kind of us. We were like the long-winded crew on Tumblr, which lends itself to being a really good podcast because we never shut up. So
then, like, what made you decide to start the podcast then, like in 2024? Because basically, I mean, the show had ended. I mean, it had been done for a while. So what was it like? I want to make a podcast now. Like
I've always wanted to. I remember this was like a lost memory that I had where when I was a kid, I used to like push play and record on my cassette tapes and like record my own little radio shows. And I forgot that I used to do that, but I've always wanted to do that. So I dabbled in doing just like a generic one where it was just me talking about certain topics and having my friends on and us just talking to each other. And that was fun practice. And then I was just like, I really think because while I'm doing that, I mean, I've been talking to these incredible women for, femmes for like 10 years. And we talk daily as friends, but also about Sam Winchester anytime it's relevant, which is, anytime you want to make it relevant.
All of the time. He's forever
all the time.
relevant.
Okay. It's all the time. And so I was like, we should make a podcast. I'd mentioned it many times. Like, and I said, you guys, I did a podcast. I already have all this stuff. Like, what if we just finally did it? And they were like, sure. And so we just like start watching season 1. Let's do it. And like within a few weeks, we had recorded all of season 1. And I just was like, okay, let me figure out how to Podbean. I was Googling, I was just doing all this research. And so we just decided to start and see what happened. And then it was so fun. Like people enjoyed it. And Sam fans found a place where I think that was it. One of the things too, is it's hard to find supernatural media that talks about Sam specifically.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's fine. Like it's obviously like there are lots of different characters that people have favored over the years and like they focus on that. And I think Dean especially, like, what is the one that called that Richard Spate does
Now and Then.
That okay. So it's fun to listen to the actors and stuff do their own kind of rewatch podcast, but there was something about our point of view I felt was like I can't see that anywhere. I feel like we have a unique point of view. Not because we like Sam, because lots of people do, but I just feel like we are so critical. Like we just have a critical eye and we like to discuss. I will say this, not to upset anybody about Dean. I love him, but I learned really important like signs of abuse and like understanding like patterns of abuse and cycles of abuse from watching Supernatural. And I think I wouldn't have learned those things and understood like the psychology of certain things. And like it started really important conversations for me and my friends. And I was like, this is really interesting because it goes so far beyond the show. And I think that's again why I teach English is I think like through stories we learn about reality and we learn about real life and we relate to these characters because they pull something true out of us. A lot of the reasons I struggle with Dean is because I'm a lot like him, and there are moments where I'm like, God damn it, I relate. That's terrible. Like, oh, I'm having a hard time with this right now because I see myself. And sometimes when you feel these harsh feelings against a character, you're really wrestling with yourself. And I think talking about those things in those terms is another reason I think a lot of us on my pod like to do that because it feels real. It feels authentic and not just a monster of the week show, but something deeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I think that's why we do it too. Cause like I said, you just kind of, it says something that a lot of people just, are still talking about characters and still talking about a show that's been off the air for so long. And, when you give yourself the opportunity to delve into it and you see something new or different or this aha moment, that kind of like, like it's the cycle of abuse even within a family, like, and being able to be that one that breaks out of it or that recognizes it, sees it and can change it, and it happens on a different time, I think it happens for both of the boys, but it happens at a very different, like it takes Dean a really long time. I think to kind of like even just approach getting out of that, where Sam, I think, sees it earlier and does the break, and a lot of times when you're in it and you're just trying to keep the peace, you don't see that
keep
you
your
have
head above water. You're not, you don't have the space to be looking at anything like that.
Well, that's trauma too, to watch your family argue and in front of you. And like, I don't know. There's endless things we can talk about. That's why it's so fascinating. And I think that was part of it, is like, well, we have so much we can say regardless, like period. Well, let's just do it. And we love it so much. And our favorite time with Dean is like season 1 and 2. We call him the fluffy duck. I think that was Vic's term for him. He's a fluffy duckling in the beginning. And it's so fun to get started. And then once you're going, you're just rolling through. And so that's kind of how it started.
Yeah. So do you get with your friends that are a part of it, like, so do you basically handle like a lot of the podcast, like behind the scenes stuff and everything? So you did have a little bit of that, you know, like starting with that other podcast. So okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. I run it all. And that's why when the money comes to me, I don't use it at all except for the pod. I put it right back into the pod. So our Patreon helps us host our podcast on Podbean, and it helps us to continue to have good sound quality, because that's a subscription. You can't just purchase it. Back in my day, you could just own the things you buy, but now you have to subscribe yearly. And so our patrons, I don't know. They're so generous, and they're so like, they help us stay afloat, because, you know, this is none of our main jobs. No. Like we all have, you know, this is a hobby.
This is a fun,
it's a hobby that becomes a part-time job.
Because we love it. Yeah.
Part-time job that actively costs money. And you're like, no, it's my favorite thing though. I love it.
It's time. Yeah. And that's what's so fun about it. I knew you guys would get it, because you are doing this because you love it as well. And so we record, I save it to my computer, I edit it, I post it, I do announcements, I have the schedule. You guys should see my spreadsheet. It is glorious.
I'm in fucking awe. I do about 3 of those things, and I'm like, this is so much work.
I do it all. And Vic will say, she'll go, you know, you could just ask us for help. And I'm like, I'm good. And little nose deep in like wedding planning and doing a podcast and running a Patreon. But like it's such a labor of love, and I know you guys understand that too, that I don't see it as work. I see it as like, I get to do this. I just have to make sure that I make it worth everyone who's listening's time and energy and like input. Yeah. Because I'm so grateful to anyone who wants to just hear us yap.
So you were talking a little bit about, because again, like I saw you had infographics and different things like on your Tumblr about like season 3 and the breakdown and stuff. So like, did you have an immediate plan for how you were going to structure the episodes? Like you talk about the Sam criteria and different things like that. Yeah. How did you end up, like, as you got through season 1, like, what was the input maybe from like listeners or like your co-hosts, and like, maybe we should start to do this, or maybe we should pivot and do something this way. So like, how did the plan evolve? Like, I'm sure I love
this question. This is such a good question. Okay. So we always just like shit talk and shit post with each other anyways. So we were like, okay, well, we should do a Sam fan friendly scale. Like, how friendly to a Sam fan is this episode? And because we were always just like, you know, oh, this one hurts my feelings as a Sam fan, or, oh, there's so much for us here, you know? And so that was the original scale. And that's why Born Under a Bad Sign got such a low rating, even though it's like a great episode. And so we did that. We're also like, I'm going to do it. I was like, we have to do wardrobe rating. So, and we have like 4 rating. We have like genuinely good, terrible, but great. I think it's horrendous. Yes. I always want to say abhorrent, but it's horrendous. And then there's one that's just like adorable. I think that was something we used more for when Sam was younger. Yeah. And so that one's always fun. Like we kind of argue about, I like the roasty bacon shirt. And I'm like, I think it should die. Like it's just that kind of, it's just silly things. And so we start by like, I'm like, here's 2 episodes. If it's a really heavy hitter, we might do 1, which is like Mystery Spot was 1 episode. But if there's, you know, and so like, we'll do a little recap at the top in case people don't remember the things that happen. And then we'll just go through our bullet points. And at the end, we'll rate it on the Sam scale, and we'll say, oh, today was genuinely good. They wore suits and they looked cute in their jumpsuits or whatever. And then, like, as to answer your question about like what input did you get from your audience, I send out a survey every end of a season. I'm like, hey, what did you guys like about this season? Because I don't know, maybe this is the teacher in me, but I was like, give me feedback. What did you like? What did you want to change? What would you suggest in the future? What would make you more excited about, investing in our Patreon? Yeah. And what do you feel we could do better to make it more worth, whatever. And so we just get feedback from the sweetest, kindest, sweetest listeners ever. They'll just be like, we don't want you to change anything. You're great. And it's like, thank you. And then there's someone who will just like politely be like, maybe it would be nice if we had this or that. And so we've implemented the new scale, which is general, because of a listener suggestion, which I think is amazing. We were able to upgrade our quality because that was a thing first season. People were like, it's just hard to hear this and that. But, you know, once we did Patreon and we were able to upgrade, you know, so anytime they give us feedback, we're trying to do it. And we especially want to put it on the Patreon, because, you know, if you're willing to spend your money with us, we want to make sure that we're doing those things that make it fun for you and make you feel rewarded and a part of this. Cause I don't think of us as on two different sides. Like I'm the one who records and edits, but we're all doing this together. So like, how can we make this community more, you know, fun and things maybe I don't notice because I'm myself talking, editing myself.
You're in it, right? So you can't. Really see it
you can't always see because you're in it and you're thinking about it. Absolutely. And you're editing it or you're marketing it, or in your case, you're doing everything because you're superhuman. But yeah,
it's a busybody.
You need. I mean, I don't want to say like control freak because that feels like a little bit mean, but like maybe a little bit where you're like, nobody else can touch this, is mine. Go on.
Yeah, it's my baby for sure. I do have a system. That's one of the things I'm like, if I let someone in my system, they'll be in the way of my system. You know, I definitely, it's very that, but that's okay. My job is this. I am always constantly, I have 14, 15-year-olds. This is my 18th year teaching. Like this is how my brain works. And I have to do lesson plans. I have to do this. I have to do that. And I don't know. It just works for me. Yeah. It'll be easier when I'm not doing a wedding at the same time.
That'll probably be a little bit easier, yeah.
But I will say, like, Vic is incredible. Those infographics she does. Now, I keep up with all of the numbers and stuff on our spreadsheet. Yeah. And I have it set up to, like, average and stuff. But she is, chef's kiss. She's so good at that. So anytime I'm like, girl, you want to do this? You want to add this? She came up with, like, the writer matrix. So it's, like, which writers were good on both scales.
I saw that. Like, yeah, that was really interesting.
Amazing. She's an archaeologist, like literally. She loves that kind of stuff. She loves a spreadsheet. She's the doctorate in Victorian literature. Vic is peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Okay.
And that's from an episode. I'm proud of that sandwich. That's her tagline on her. Yeah, she's so great. She's the one running. If you guys go, I don't know when this is going to air. It's probably going to be over by then. But if you go to her website now, or her Tumblr now, it's going to be the prompts for Sam playlists.
Yeah, I definitely. I saw that, so I definitely want to look into that a little bit more. Yeah,
some of those are banger playlists. Yeah. She just like a In the Cage playlist, and the songs are very sad, but like Slipknot adjacent. Like would have the tone of like, you know, very upset In the Cage music.
I don't know, man. There's just something about Corey Taylor he just speaks to me. I can't.
That's how I feel about
it.
That's how I feel about Hosier. He's like very Sam Winchester coded lyrics because he speaks of like mythology and like being in hell and like going through hell, like Hades. He talks about the mythology of Hades and stuff. So I get it.
Yeah. Some people just.
I do have a Dean playlist, and it's classic rock that I think he would like.
That's cute.
So, I mean, we talked a little bit about the co-hosts, but like, what do they each bring to the conversation that you think is kind of like a good contrast? You know, like because I mean, you're all Sam fans, but there has to be something a little different. You know, that's kind of like bringing something else to the table.
Oh, these are such good questions because I love talking about them because they're also brilliant in my opinion. I think because especially Jess and Vic are like they're British, and so it's very interesting to see their takes on the Americana of it all. Like it's very like Vic's takes will be very. She'll point stuff out that like I'm living in it. You know, I live in Dallas, Texas. Like we're very like. You know, we're not the South capital S, but we're like, you know, we're in the southern part of America. And then we've got Christy, she's in New York. We've got Elle, she's in Baltimore. So we're all kind of like in different spaces in America. And they'll point out like, oh yeah, this is very American kind of Americana, like version of masculinity, or this is a very interesting point of view on this and that's specific to America. And we'll be like, oh, no, that makes sense. Or like, that is very cool. So I really like that. I love I love that. One of the things about Vic is she's very proudly neurodivergent, and she's very proudly like expressive of her identity and getting a diagnosis of that. And like she is able to remember trivia I couldn't believe. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, like she pulls out all behind the scenes stuff off the dome, like off the top of her head. And it's because she has this very like fierce memory. And that's something that's incredible that she brings, but it also, because of the way she identifies systems within the writing, it's really fascinating watching her like talk through, well, I was thinking of this and the connection that this goes into this and this, and then she'll pull themes from old episodes and tie it into what we're seeing. And that's really special as well. And what Elle brings to the table, she's an author. She just went to like Yale. She went to a Yale like writing conference like last summer.
Ooh.
Like she loves it. So she's always looking at things in terms of a writer's eye. She will say, well, if it were me and I was the author, I would want to make the audience feel this way about this in this way. I'd want to see the conflict between these two characters be in this way. And I think they could have done it a little different if they had done this, or, oh, this was so amazing as a writer. I saw these things. And that's why I love her story, Lustra, the alternate universe AU of, season 9, because she sees what we love about the show and then she repackages it with her ideas as a book author. And so it's just fascinating. And Christy she's just so hilarious. She teaches, she's got her master's in special education. Okay. And so she's kind of like with me, like we kind of come from a point of view as teachers. We see, especially because we're both in therapy, like we see it from the trauma of it all. Like we see our children in our classes. We are mandatory reporters. We understand the damage it can have on someone long term. And so then we're watching the show and we're like, wow, we kind of like the inner child of it all. Like we kind of see things in that way. I think I'm the goofy one, like I think Chrissy's like the cynical one, which is so funny because she's real quiet and then she'll say something so cutting and you're like, oh, she's here, and like it's just I don't know. I'm so grateful for this group of people because they're just all of them are cooler than me. And I just get to talk to them and they are the coolest.
Oh, that's so nice. That's nice.
It's fun because we've been friends. Yeah, we were friends. And then we're doing this because we're friends. And that the friendship is part of, the podcast.
So I know we've connected podcast wise, but like, have you had a chance to connect to other podcasters as well, or is that still like
this is the first for me? I'm on like Instagram here or there. I follow a podcast and they follow me back. I can't remember their name, but like we're so new, I think, in the spectrum of podcasting that we're still just finding our audience, and it grows every season. I think it grows a little bit, but like it's still new in the journey of like connecting with other podcasts.
Yeah. How soon are you? Because I know you take breaks in between, but like if you guys go through to season 15, I mean, what's the time frame? Are you like, do you even have like a time frame?
We joke that I think Elle said, are we going to finish this before one of us dies? Like she literally was like, how are we going to do this? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was like, we did 3 seasons in 2 years, which is unsustainable. So it can't go at this pace, but like, I mean, I guess we'll be booked and busy for 15 years if we really decide. I think what we've decided is just, we'll do it as long as it makes sense and it's fun. And then if we don't have anything to talk about because it's a Sam pod and he's like in it for 4 or 5 minutes a season or an episode, and then all we're doing is yelling. Maybe we do something else, or maybe we don't. We don't know. I was saying that I really do need to go through and watch for the first time the seasons that I wasn't able to. But it would be cool if we could. Because
that may give you an idea. It's like maybe we don't.
Because like. I know that we're just ravenous to talk about 4 and 5. I know we're ravenous to talk about 8 and 9, especially. I think 9 was tough, but I really enjoyed it. And it might be because it was the first one I watched week to week because I got current during season 9. But it was, to me, I really liked the end of season 8, despite how sad it was in season 9.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked to so many different fans and stuff. And the one thing I think we started, like our theory was like, especially like with the Sam fans, it's like, 8 and 9 is like sort of like
8 and
that
9
hinge
tends
point.
to be when
Like
people drop out.
there are some people that just would stop, like they were like, no, I'm done. I can't do that anymore. So I think
there's it's definitely kind of like that end of the the last episode of 8 and the first episode of 9, where Dean kind of like almost becomes a dictator of Sam's life and is like, you're not going to do this.
He was.
And you are going to do this, and I'm going to make it so that it really fractures their relationship so heavily that I think a lot of hardcore Sam people are like, I don't even want to see them fix this. This is unfixable to me in a way that I will be comfortable with.
That's right. It's fixable, but that the writers aren't going to give us what it takes to really swing it back into balance. So it's so difficult, but you're totally right. I think I was just told when I was like watching by people outside of the Sam sphere was like, okay, we'll just wait till we get to this part, because then you'll understand why we don't like him anymore. And I would get to these parts and I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just kept like being kind of led to believe that my favorite was going to turn out to be horrible.
That's sad. That's sad to have.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. I do think
I'm kind of glad we missed all that, Kasey.
Yeah.
It was a wild time.
I think again, if you like, because there are extremists on every, wherever you have a spectrum, you will have extremists on either end of it. So I think if you were looking at this from an extremist Dean perspective, Sam can appear very ungrateful at times, and especially if you're looking at 8 and 9 from a Dean perspective, going, he expected you to look for him and you just left him, and then you said you were going to die and leave him all alone, and like I can see why you would interpret that as Sam being ungrateful.
But I just don't. I could never understand it.
You're struggling, Kasey.
And here's the thing, like
I'm trying.
I had another friend who was a Dean girl, but she like fully like we would talk about it, and she would say, no, like this hurt me. Season 8 hurt me. It made me feel like my sister left me in a hole to die. But like we could talk about that. But it would make me so mad that I was like, I can't talk about this anymore. Because like I don't understand like why Sam is taking Dean and Bobby at their word and he's still getting in trouble. And there's no great, you know what I'm saying? We can't do this. Every time we bring up season 8, I'm going to get into it. But like, it was always really hard for me to extend that to the Dean perspective, because I feel like, and I'm not trying to be a bitch, but like the Dean perspective in that moment to me was really self-centered and wrong. Like you can't say, oh, I made this, I made this promise with you and you respected it, but actually, surprise, that was wrong, and I'm still holding you accountable for my feelings. And I think watching it before I went to therapy and then after has been really interesting too. It's changed the way I watch it.
I've got to say, and every time we speak to someone in the Supernatural fandom, I walk away from that experience just feeling something different, or learning something different, or appreciating something from a different view. And from speaking to you, and especially that kind of like Sam took everyone at their word and he was still wrong. I'm like, that has really resonated with me in a way that I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I'm so angry about it. Because I grew up in that environment where what you were told wasn't necessarily what was actually expected of you, and you would be
changing the goalposts and having to guess
constantly. And if you couldn't, you weren't quick enough to figure out what had happened, or and like
you were set up to fail.
Yeah, and I'm neurodivergent, so I'm like, no, I need clear and concise instructions. I cannot operate on vibes. And my family was very much like, well, you should have known. And I'm like, should I? How should I have known? I don't.
But you said this. Why did you say this?
Why did you say this? And you didn't. Exactly. And you actually wanted that. So now I'm sitting here going, is that why I'm so not irrationally, but like irrationally in the fact that it's a fictional character,
like
in a
personally,
fictional TV show.
It's
but
personal.
Like I'm so personally angry.
Kasey, I think absolutely that's why. And I think that's why people get to a point where it's like, I can't talk about this because I can't come to you from the point of view of a TV show. I'm actually feeling this from my own inner child, my own inner trauma. And I think that's why these boys matter so much to people, because they are unhealed adults whose inner children are deeply traumatized, and we're kind of screaming on our couch like, go to therapy, boys. Gonna be okay.
We need therapy, Winchesters.
Yep. Yeah,
Absolutely.
no.
It's one of the reasons. Like I was always for Sam, and it started out because he's tall and he had good hair. And I mean, looking back on it now, like season 1, I'm like, oh, he's just a baby. I don't like. I'm uncomfortable with season 1 Sam now because like I'm older than season 1 Sam, and I'm like, yeah, it's uncomfortable. But you know, he was tall and he had like longer hair than Dean, and that's all I really need out of somebody. And then the more I watched, and I was like, I identified with him so hard. And like I was very much like Sam to me is the kind of person who does the thing and then goes, well, I've done it now, what are you gonna do? You know, like he knew he wouldn't get permission to apply to college, so he applied and went, I've done it now what? And that was very much how I dealt with my family. I knew permission would never be granted, so I would just be like, well, I've done it now, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, exactly.
Can't stop me.
Oh. Yeah.
I got a scholarship to Stanford. Sorry to disappoint, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, what? As a teacher, that absolutely blows my mind. Every time I'm like, oh, God forbid your son is very smart and self-sufficient and cool. And
how awful for you, John. God, the traumas that you must have endured in that moment. God, I fucking hate John Winchester.
Me too.
But like getting through the season, and like I write fanfic now, and I'm like, Sam he's safe for me, and I can put
like
he
might be somebody who feels familiar in the way he reacts.
And I know that I can hand him things, and I dress them up so they fit in his world, but I know that I can hand him things that have happened to me and are heavy, and I don't know how to deal with them. And I know that I can give them to him and he will hold them for me while I work through what's happening.
I'm getting emotional.
I love him so much, you guys.
Oh my God, thank you, Sam.
But
seriously, it's so stunning because like one of my major things about Sam is, and there's a tag, it's a tag on my Tumblr because I loved it so much, is that moment, and it's I think the thesis of Sam's early seasons, like thesis for his character, is the line where he says, it's not what you are, it's what you do, it's your choice. And you get to decide. And I think that is what he's always wanted to be the thesis of his life, is that like, I was born in a family that expected me to be a hunter, but I have the choice. I need to have the autonomy and the choice to make my own decisions. And that will decide if I'm good or bad. Not that I had demon blood put in my body, not that I was used as a pawn in this like demon, whatever, like plan, but that I can choose. And that's why his worst nightmare is to have that choice taken away, which is why I think it's so egregious in season 9 that Dean did that. But at the end of the day, Sam's always trying to make choices that he believes are correct. That's what makes you a good person, is not what you are, it's what you choose to do. And I love that.
Yes. Yes. 100%. I'm with you. We just love him so much. Send help or Jared.
Well, or both. I know we're running close, so I wanted to let Kasey ask their final 2 questions, and then just give you like a final wrap up question, and then leave you to do the next thing that you have to do today.
No, I've had so much fun talking.
You're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to bring your podcast buddies. You're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to talk about like when you get through season 4. And then season 5, and then if you personally get to the end of 15, you personally have to come back and talk to me.
I would love it.
I would pencil you in for like 5 different things. Be like, Audree. Like, we'll come back. It's gonna be great.
My new podcast besties. I'm so excited.
Yes, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Alrighty. So my final questions, which I can remember. No, I can't. They're on this piece of paper. It's been a really long day, guys. So, if you like, you don't have to share, but if you want to, how did you come up with your username? And we'll go with your Tumblr username, Sunshine Winchester.
So I used to be like Sweet Sam of Mine or something like that.
Oh, that's adorable.
Is that so cute? I loved it.
So cute.
But there was, and I have a sunflower tattoo now. I love sunflowers. But there was a post on Tumblr. I mean, over a decade ago, that compared Sam to a sunflower, and it listed all the attributes of a sunflower. They are strong and tall, that the roots of the nutrients around the sunflower like helps other plants, that when they are they're always searching for the light, so they're always turned to the sun. And so it's just discussing like all the things we love about Sam being tall and strong and these things, but then also like the true attributes of a sunflower being connected to as a metaphor for who Sam is. I remember reading that and being like, oh my God, like just cry. And so I loved that. And so I changed it. And I think there was then an episode that we watched, and I think it was season 10, because it was like, I don't know what kind of monsters they were, but they were hippies. And one of them called Sam Sunflower. And I was like, me. So that's where it comes from.
That is adorable.
So
And honestly, not what I expected. I expected you.
What was your guess?
My guess was it was something to do with Jared's eyes.
He does have sunflower eyes. I do have a tag on my Tumblr that says sunflower eyes when it's a picture, like particularly of how beautiful his eyes are.
I prefer kaleidoscope eyes.
Oh, I love that. So
Um,
pretty.
But then you can misappropriate the song lyrics. I fell in love with the boy with kaleidoscope eyes. Which I think is really cute.
Sounds like a fic is brewing.
many. I'm actually posting a fic for I do the Sam Winchester Jared Padalecki bang. So it started
Awesome.
last year. So last year was the big bang, and this year is the reverse bang. And this year I pulled Sam's birthday as the posting date.
Oh,
Birthday.
happy birthday.
It's gonna be
That's
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Now, since you said you'd listen to some episodes, I expect you to be prepared for this question, which makes it far less fun for me, but never mind.
I'm not ready.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Fabulous. I got really excited when you said that one of your podcast co-hosts was an archaeologist, and I was like, she'll be so prepared. And then I remembered that is not the same field. And I was like, that's... Anyway, never mind. Mortals. Adults. No, they don't. Fucking gonna start that again. Bloody hell. So adults don't ask other adults this question enough. And I am on a one mortal mission to change that. So
Let's do
Audree,
it. Yes.
what is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh my God, I love dinosaurs so much. I don't know. Do y'all on Netflix, did y'all watch the the new dinosaur show that they had?
I've seen that it's on. I haven't watched it yet. It's one of the things I want to watch.
I had to stop because I started crying because like they would talk about because they talk about the eras and how they change, and like then these little guys would die, and there was one that the trees changed and he didn't evolve fast enough, and the food was too high and he couldn't eat.
Oh no!
I was like, I'm like crying. I'm like, oh, I can't watch this.
No.
As if I didn't know dinosaurs died. I don't know. I love dinosaurs so much. Okay, so I probably am gonna have to go with our classic queen, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because I'm a child of Jurassic Park, and she was a influential, strong female lead for me growing up. But I love the long necks, which any type of like a brontosaurus, I love them. The shape is so cute, and they're so big, but they're nice. And I love those kinds. But the new ones they're discovering with feathers are freaking me out. Like I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't look like what Steven Spielberg thought they looked like, but I support them.
Do you know what's so cool though? Do you know? I'm going to nerd out for a second. Just bear with me. And also, you get points for giving me two dinosaurs that are actually dinosaurs. Yeah, I've had a lot of answers that were not dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh! Like what?
Well, like
like an alligator?
You unlock things. No. So like Megalodon, it's a shark.
Oh, that's a
dinosaur.
shark. Like the Loch Ness monster, but she's a cryptid, but she could be a dinosaur.
She could have been a dinosaur. More likely, she was a whale penis. But
oh no!
Investigate that on your own time.
Nessie, no.
a lot of the sort of old myths about sea serpents and sea monsters of that variety. Back when we didn't necessarily know and you didn't really have any way to fact check, they're usually whales with their dicks out.
That is so funny. Oh my god.
Whales, like especially like orcas and stuff like that, they do kind of like to do that. They do kind of like to just hang out on the surface and let it all hang out.
They're like, hey guys, waving.
Hi guys. Yeah. But no, I've had Megalodon. I've had Leopleurodon, which is
the Leopleurodon from Charlie.
Charlie.
Magical.
But they're
Leopleurodon.
not dinosaurs. They're plesiosaurs, which is not a type of dinosaur.
I need to learn more about that.
Okay,
because I don't know the difference.
All you need to know. So plesiosaur is an aquatic reptile.
Aquatic reptile. Okay, that's okay.
All dinosaurs are reptiles. Not all reptiles are dinosaurs.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. And if you like, I'm looking at the clock and I can hear Sandra going, fuck.
Sandra's like, stop talking about reptiles.
No, I won't. And I've also had a lot of people have said like pterodactyl, which not only isn't a dinosaur, it isn't a real thing.
Okay, but the Power Ranger.
I know, I'm sorry.
How do you explain that?
I know, I'm sorry. But the thing is, like, a pterodactyl is like a misphrasing of the word pterosaur, which is the word for a flying reptile. But there wasn't a flying reptile called a pterodactyl. It's just
what's the big one that I see? There's like a model of him. He's so big. It looks like he flies.
Quetzalcoatl.
That one.
Yeah.
Crazy. That thing freaks me out. But I like him.
Huge. But the thing about finding out that the dinosaurs are feathers, science has come far enough now that we're able to take these fossils and like find out the colors of the dinosaurs. Like we have the technology now.
Oh my god.
Fucking awesome.
I'm obsessed.
Fucking awesome.
Someone did a rendering of like a Tyrannosaurus skeleton. Was like, well, it could look like this, and it was like a fuzzy little bird. And I was like,
yeah,
aw,
it could.
I like it.
They were probably a lot chubbier than what we think because especially early renderings of dinosaurs from the skeletons that we had tend to shrink wrap the skin.
Yeah, it made them look like they were like little lizards.
They were just bones.
The raptors are terrifying, but they might just be like fuzzy little guys.
They could just be chubby, fuzzy little dudes. They could just be.
I love this question. I love that you asked this.
Little dudes. I read the other day, and I don't know how old this is, but I read the other day that they had found evidence of a T-Rex fossil that had a smashed metacarpal bone, which is like a hand bone, like on the foot, but it had healed. Which is evidence that maybe Tyrannosauruses lived in herds or packs because somebody had to feed this dinosaur while it healed.
That is okay. I'm gonna get emotional again. Every time we talk about dinosaurs like in herds and like being friends with each other, like I just love animals so much.
Isn't that just so nice?
Yes, they took care of her.
In the comments, people were like, oh, well, like T-Rexes were scavengers. And then other people were like, no, you don't understand. There was no walking on this foot. It was fucked. Like, it's not like she could limp up to dead bodies.
She was like, she was just chilling and someone brought her some food.
And somebody fed her long enough that she healed.
Relax, mama. Here's your mimosa.
Which is just, isn't that just so beautiful?
It is.
So nice.
My goodness.
You have to now go and pull all of your other podcast hosts about the dinosaur.
That's what I'll do today on our chatty episode. We have to drop this month. I'm gonna be like, Vic, tell me about your favorite dinosaur. I'm sure she'll have it ready to go.
Oh, that's so cute. That's too cute.
All right, I'm done now, Sandra. I'm done properly. I'll shut up.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's just that we're actually going to get ready to do something too in a little bit.
Yeah,
so we always
have something to do in like 20 minutes.
We always think there's enough time, and there's never enough time, and so
then the bug guy comes to my door, and I waste time.
and then I lose power and all those things. But Audree, this has been so much fun.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much
for having me on. Y'all are so great.
I just want to you tell me because you're the podcast person. I usually, for our guests, once I've edited it down, I let them listen to it and let me know if there's anything they want to have taken out. Will you have time to do that? And once I know on the schedule and stuff?
Don't have any issues. I trust y'all. What? I didn't say anything I wouldn't say on my own podcast, so y'all are great.
Okay, as long as you're good with that.
Do that.
Okay, so I will let you know when it's scheduled to go out and stuff like that. But before we wrap up, I kind of just wanted to ask one more question, just to kind of get. Since we've been talking about the show and the podcast and all the things, like what bit of wisdom would you provide someone like who might be thinking of starting their own podcast? Like,
that's such a good question.
What would you tell them to maybe think about, maybe like prior, like maybe if I had thought about this or thought about that, like what would you tell them?
Don't take on too much right at the beginning. Take it easy because you get overwhelmed quickly, but also know it's not going to be perfect and just do it anyways. Like that was the thing that I finally did it. Carrie Fisher is famous for saying like, be scared, but do it anyways. And I think so often we want to be good at something immediately. And it feels so vulnerable to talk into a mic and then put it out there for people to hear, because you're like, oh God, I hate my voice. I sounded stupid. I said 20 times. You just have to start somewhere. And everyone's trying to find their place, and it's okay to not do it perfectly at first. And eventually you're going to find your stride and it'll be fine. That's what I would say. That's what I had to tell myself over and over again. Or I wouldn't have done it.
I love that. I love that. I try and live by, don't let perfection be the enemy of good. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Exactly. One of my favorite podcasts is My Favorite Murder. Is like, to me, the blueprint. Like, I started listening to that a decade ago. And Georgia said that her aunt used to tell her, dumber people than you have done it. And I was like, that's right. Dumber people than me did it. I can do it. And so that's what I always remember, that and the Carrie Fisher quote. And that makes me feel like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. I can tell that like the listeners are just getting such a kick out of your conversations. And I've enjoyed listening to the handful of episodes, you know, being a Dean girl. I'm still loving it. I'm still loving that you guys are like chit-chatting and really breaking things down.
We can be hard on him, but we always love him.
Yeah, absolutely. But I wish you the best with all of the things that are going on right now. Again, congratulations on all the things you have to plan for. I know it's going to be fine. And yes, the 2-year anniversary of the podcast also coming up. That sounds awesome and amazing. And I hope you have a wonderful time celebrating that, and the playlist and all the things. But we definitely want to keep in touch. And if you have questions or bounce ideas, or like if we can have you back again. I know Kasey's like signed you up for now 5 or 6 different things, but like if there's anything, you know, we'd love to like collaborate or do something else with you guys at some point. That would be
absolutely.
Awesome.
I can't wait to like go back to my group chat and be like, guys, they're so cool. Like, and talk to them about it. Yeah.
Thank you. And also, like, if you need any like tech support, Discord-y stuff like that, we've kind of cobbled it together over a few years. We can help out.
Kasey has, yes. Go to Kasey.
I'll
with
definitely
all those
hit
questions.
you guys up for that, because I'm like, what does this button do? Like, I'm very there.
How does it do this? Yeah, no, I got you. We've trial and error has got us to where we are with our Discord.
But we will let you go so you can start the rest of your day, because you have other things to do. And then we're going to do our outro on the back end of that. Yes. But yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye, you guys.
Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.
It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Mwah.
Oh, that was awesome. We could break this down for another
come back down like every week, right?
Every week. We could talk about this for another 10 minutes, but we do really have to wrap up. What are your thoughts?
We do really have shit to do.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts overall? That was great, wasn't it?
That was just genuinely a delight. And it is always like, I love getting to gush with Sam people.
And knowing we have people that listen to our show that love Sam, if they haven't found that podcast yet, I think they're going to like be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever.
You know, if Sam do be your blorbo, go check out Audree's podcast. And she's awesome. All of her co-hosts sound awesome. I'm already thinking of ways that we can collab. Like, I don't know that I'm going to make it manifest, but I'm thinking about it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is great. I'm glad we got a chance to connect to Audree, and hopefully we will do that again soon, but we do have to wrap up. So we want to thank you for listening, and let us know what you thought. You can email us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify, leave a YouTube comment, join our Discord and chat with fellow idlers and us in real time. Check out our merch store, which is another fun way to show your support. You can find details for everything on our website. That's idlingintheimpala.com. Want to fuel our supernatural road trip? Consider supporting us on Ko-fi. We have perks to go along with the different membership tiers, and we'd love to have you along for the ride.
Speaking of perks, we've got special shout-outs for some of our Ko-fi members. From our Shotgun Picks and Music tier, we've got Runaway Dreamer, Crowley's Mistress, Sam and Dean 76, Elia, Charlie, and Flannelled Faye. From our Baby Driver tier, we've got Livia. Thanks for picking the tunes in the car and steering us in the right direction. Support like yours keeps our podcast going. Don't forget, you can always support us for free by liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube, and following, rating, sharing on audio platforms. Engagement like that really helps us with the algorithms. All hail their benevolence. As always, we have the causes we support in the description. So from me, you have LGBTQ plus talking charities. From Sandra, you have mental health charities. And of course, the main causes that we are highlighting, championing, spotlighting are World Central Kitchen and Doctors Without Borders. If you want to know more about those causes, why we're supporting them, what they mean to us, check out idlingintheimpala.com. There's a page there called Cause is Cause with all the details. So with that, we will say a huge thank you to Audrey for joining us. We had a blast. Thank you, dear listeners, for joining us in the back seat, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.